I'm
Hello
waiting for it to come up
everyone,
on the right.
we are
Hello!
live.
How you doing? Right.
How are you all doing? Let me know in the chat. I have absolutely no real plan for this live stream. We're just going to do
You
something.
did. I mean, you showed me stuff, so
I showed you stuff. Yes.
that's more planning than my streams have. I need to mute the stream because I'm hearing myself. There we go.
There we go. Right. Okay. So,
The latency's pretty high, but I don't think we need low latency for
I'll
this
be
sort
fine.
of
It'll be
thing
fine.
anyway, so it'll be fine.
Right. So, the plan is. Oh, my cousin is here. Hannah in the chat. She's going under our dad's account. Hello, Hannah. Hope you're doing all right. Aye. So, here's the plan, Walter. We're going to do some tier lists.
I'm sending out promos right now for your stream.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm doing it on Snap, so if I'm like half here in my brain
I just posted it on
for
my
a few
story.
seconds.
We have
Well,
3 viewers, which is cool.
right.
Right, okay. So,
I'll do
Walter.
the same routine that I usually do with my streams. I'm listening.
Right, so, are you sure you're listening? Because this is very important
Yeah,
information.
I'm like looking at my phone, but I'm listening to you. That's
Right, so, we're going to start off with a quiz, Walter.
a quiz.
A quiz.
What sort of quiz would that be?
Right, so, I've decided whenever I've got a guest on the stream, I'm going to get a quiz, which is specifically engineered to your interests.
Like,
And I know you're just a
who
wee
wants
bit.
to be a millionaire?
Aye, like that. And I know you're just a wee bit of a fan of Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah. It's been said. I've heard it said before.
So, I've got a wee Doctor Who quiz for you. So, I went onto the ever so reliable website IMDb, and I plucked off 20 reviews from episodes of Doctor Who. And I want you to try and guess the episode from the review.
That's a fucking good idea. Can I finish sending this promo first?
Yeah, that's fine.
His streaming with at JL Productions 1 right now, doing tier lists over on his. I just realised I might as well not send it on Instagram because the link isn't in my bio.
Aye,
And they
fair.
won't be.
Snapchat will do.
think-
Snapchat will do.
Aye, I sent it on Snapchat and Discord. And Instagram, for me, half the time doesn't fucking send. I don't know if you've noticed, like on my story or whatever, but they go out like 15 minutes after the stream's ended.
That's weird.
And I'm like...
I just got
Right.
some chats. Somebody just said Spaceballs, which is an absolute class movie, Walter.
I don't think I've seen that.
You
actually.
need to watch Spaceballs if you've watched Star Wars now. I just watched it with Mia not that long ago.
How you doing, Yarno? I just realised I've not addressed you directly. I'm
Lu-
here. I see
Loopy,
you.
Pog. Yes.
How you doing?
Right, here we go, Walter. You get a point for each episode of Doctor Who you identify correctly.
Is this classic and new or just new?
Just New Who.
This will probably be a piece of piss then. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
Well, it depends how descriptive. We'll see. I
Right.
don't want to come off across as overconfident.
Right. Here is the
Alright.
first review, and this is a 1 out of 10 review. Right?
I'm not looking at the answer sheet right now, am I?
No, I've got the answer sheet elsewhere.
Right. just
What
full screen
a
that bit.
horrendous episode. From the picture quality looking cheap quality, like it was made in the yesteryears, but not feeling like a homage, but rather a god-awful episode of Days of Our Lives. Worst episode with David Tennant at the helm. And yes, he was one of my favourites. It was just this god-awful episode that stunk, making it the worst one. Who wrote this? The cast of the Jodie Whittaker writers? Smells like it, with a desperation for tear jerks you don't feel forced, or just want to puke at. What a review. Do you have any thoughts, Walter?
My first instinct was to say Love and Monsters,
Mm-hmm.
That would be an easy first one.
Mhm.
And Days of Our Lives is like soap opera drama kind of thing, right?
Yes, it is.
So I'm thinking like the whole deal with Elton in that,
Mhm.
and the very, I don't know,
Are you
fucking EastEnders-y nature of that, you know?
are
That might
you
be
locking in what's Loving
Love and
Monsters?
Monsters. Eh, from the picture quality looking cheap. Series 2 does look kind of shit. Do
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Mm.
Eh,
Somebody said in the chat, this is definitely Orphan 51. Is that not Orphan?
that's Luke.
What is that? Is that called 51? Is it not
Listen,
43?
we've established this before. It's 55.
55.
Uh, we've established that Luke talks shite. So
And then somebody
I'm
else
locking in
said,
Love and Monsters.
locking in Loving Monsters.
Aye.
Well, I can tell you, Walter.
It's either that or the other shit one of the double whammy shit episodes,
That that
which is
that is the
Fear
wrong
Her.
that is the wrong answer, Walter.
What is it then?
It's Voyage of the Damned.
That's a fucking insult, right?
I
Where is
just
he getting Days of Our Lives for?
I've no idea.
I guess
Absolutely no
everything that
idea.
Davies writes is sort of got like a dramatic
Mm.
twinge to it.
Yes. So that was for Voyage of the Damned. Right.
Tennant at the helm. Haha, very good.
Right. Review number
Whatever.
2, Walter.
The Rock, by the way, I should just point out, Voyage of the Damned is fucking good. It's probably like
I
top
love
3 Christmas
I
special.
love Voyage of the Damned.
Who is it that didn't like it?
Oh, it's just
I
some idiot.
remember encountering somebody that didn't like it.
Anybody that doesn't like it is just
Arsehole.
an idiot. Right.
Clearly.
Review number 2. This is for an 8 out of 10 episode, according to this person. I don't know what people are griping about. This was just fun and a bit creepy. It was a Halloween episode, and it was sort of nice to have a Halloweeny episode. Was it great? No. Was it bad? Not at all. It felt more like Russell T Davies' Doctor Who, and that's a nice change of the pace from the overly convoluted episodes of the Moffat era. I also don't understand what people have against Jodie. I think she's a
Has to
great
be Villa Diodati, right?
and very good Doctor. She reminds me of the Davison era Doctor.
Well, that's true. Like, you're right. It does sort of remind me of Peter Davison, who's
So, what
probably the second one up.
what you thinking, Walter? What's your
I can't
thoughts?
think of any other Halloweeny episode other than Villa Diodati.
So are you
So-
locking in Villa Diodati?
I don't know what people are griping about could imply that it's a... Because Villa Diodati is thought of as one of the good ones, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Jodie is good in this, by the way. It's like the one episode where she's like
Got a character.
confident and yeah, like it's she was characterized so inconsistently, and this is the one where she feels most like the Doctor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
What you
aye,
looking?
fuck it, we'll
What
go
you
Villa
looking?
Diodati then.
Villa Diodati. Well, Walter,
Aye.
I can tell you that is the wrong answer.
What? What's the Halloween episode?
This is a
then?
review for arachnids in the UK.
Halloween.
When did it come out, that episode? Because I'm sure it wasn't
What?
around Halloween. Surely.
It doesn't feel like Halloween.
No.
It felt more like RTD Doctor Who. What?
Exactly.
Explain to
my
me how.
thoughts. People in the chat,
I'm
this
gonna
is
get all of these wrong, and that says nothing about me and everything about these fucking reviewers.
I
right?
just got, this is definitely the one with Captain Jack Sparrow. Is he in what one's that? Is that the Curse of the Black Pearl he's insinuating there?
No, I think he's making a joke about Jack Hartnell or some bullshit.
Oh, okay. Right.
We've established that Luke talks shite, right? So
That's
1
true.
out of 10.
1 out of 10. I might as well watch a
This is a
documentary
bad review about a Davies era episode,
about
isn't it?
soap operas and chuck some images from horror movies in every now and then. The only point of this story is to set up the season finale, and that is all I will ever see this as.
Utopia, maybe? No, because, like, soap opera, right?
This is a difficult one.
No got lifelines or that, have I?
Right.
Fucking-
I'll let you have 3 clues throughout this.
That's a good idea. That spices it up a bit.
Right. So, do you want your first clue?
3 clues throughout the whole thing.
Yes.
So I might as well use one now then, okay.
Right, okay. Your first clue. This is an episode in series 3.
It's Utopia, right? It's Utopia!
Are you
The
locking
only
in?
point of this story is to set up the season finale. Yeah, it is.
You're locking in Utopia.
I wouldn't get a 1 out of 10, but yeah.
Well, Walter, that is the wrong answer.
In what world?
Right, and you're gonna really, really freak at this one. This is a review for the Family of Blood.
Oh, 'cause I suppose
apparently-
we don't like character and bro.
It sets up the season
This might
finale
be
because of
controversial
the.
to say, aye, the watch. I know.
Yeah.
This might be controversial to say, but I don't care, right? There's a genre of, like, classic Who fans that just, wherever they see, like, character drama in Doctor Who, they're like, oh, this is shite.
Yeah.
Because apparently they think Doctor Who should be pure sci-fi. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
have a story without compelling characters. And I feel like TV as a whole and media as a whole has evolved in a way where if you write characters as they were written in classic Who, where they're characterized, but they're sort of there to
Yeah.
carry the plot along more.
When we
I
did
feel like that wouldn't last.
our tier list, that was our number 1 episode, The Family of Blood.
Aye, Family of Blood's
It
probably my
is
favourite.
a phenomenal episode.
That 2-parter I count as one story.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah. What's the first part called?
S tier.
Human Nature.
Human Nature,
Yeah.
aye. It was written by Paul Cornell and was originally a story for the 7th Doctor, which makes so much sense when you think about it.
Okay. Here we go, Walter. Review number 4. Rating 6 out of 10. I prefer the format where just the Doctor and his companion go through their adventures. It's cool with people coming from the companion's life, but then leaving. I, for one, don't like that Amy's boyfriend, Rory, is just always there. I thought Rosie's, I really miss Rose, and Mickey's relationship was done better. But a 6 out of 10, so they still enjoyed the episode, technically.
What on earth? This could literally be anything that features Rory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you may have another clue if you need, because this is a difficult one.
Fuck it, aye. I mean,
Um,
I'm lost with this.
This is
Reese is here. How
from
you doing?
series number 5.
All right.
And that does cancel out quite a few episodes.
It
Because
does.
he's in about probably half that series.
Is he though?
Because he
I can't
comes
it's been a while since I watched series 5.
he comes
was
in at Vampires of Venice and leaves in
Aye,
Hung-
but he was
Hungry
in
Earth?
11th Hour.
oh yeah, he was in 11th Hour.
And that's
And
what
then
I remember them being in series.
He dies in Hungry Earth and then comes back in the final 2-parter.
Typical Moffat fashion. Are they saying Angels in Man? It can't be Angels in Manhattan, Luke.
It is quite a. It's probably the most, I think, Rory themed episode in series 5.
Right.
Well,
This is
I
all
think it's
before-
got the most Rory. It's been a long time since I've seen this episode.
I'm starting to think Pandorica because of the whole 1,000 years or 2,000 years
Mhm.
thing.
Are you going to lock in Pandorica?
You need to think of, you need to get into the mind of the reviewer
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
don't you?
exactly.
Because, like, if I was writing a review about Pandorica, my first thought wouldn't be Rory. But
Yeah,
for this
it
person,
is.
that very well
It
might be the
is.
case.
I think it is an episode where he's just kind of there. I kind of half agree with this. The episode really shines on the other stuff, not really him.
Is Amy's Choice in Series 5?
Yes, it is.
Maybe.
You
Maybe.
locking in Amy's Choice, Walter.
Fuck it, it's all I've got to go on. Aye.
So you've locked in Amy's Choice, and I can
Aye.
tell you that is the correct answer. Yes, so that
I
is
thought,
1 point to you.
Rory themed, yeah, I see that.
Yeah. Because he dies in that one, does he not? And then Amy's like, I can't live without him, and then crashes the minibus.
Aye, and then it's in the dream world.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that's
moving
a
on.
very Moffat idea as well.
This is
isn't
a
it? Like,
long review. For a 10, it's a 10 out of 10 review. It may not have been as good as the last 3 episodes, yet, in my opinion, episode title was enjoyable. PC was excellent as usual. Gold was in top form, I'm guessing that means, and the direction, well, to put it simply, magical. In fact, the whole episode could be described as magical, with an excellent script by newcomer Frank Cottrell Boyce. Not everybody will enjoy this episode. Obviously, the fantasy aspect can be jarring, but those who do will enjoy this one. I love my hard sci-fi eps as much as the next man, but it is nice just to take a deep breath, pun intended, and just unwind. Plus, the kids enjoyed it.
First thought, Robot of Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy elements, right?
Yes.
But maybe I can't. It's been a while. I don't remember the order. What was the 3 episodes before that?
The 3 episodes before Robert of Sherwood. Well, that gives you a bit of a clue. 'Cause I think there's only 2 episodes before Robert of Sherwood.
Oh, well there you are then. It can be.
But they could be talking about.
Fantasy.
They could be talking about the previous series. You have to bear that in mind.
That's true. I mean, what else has fantasy elements? Like, does Robin Hood constitute fantasy?
Yeah, because it's.
What the fuck is that thing with the trees?
I've got some people in the comments saying this is the one where they're under the sea. If not, I'm going to jump off my roof. Is that what one's that? Before the flood, under the lake.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I can't see that being. What's fantasy about that? Well, ghosts. But are they really? Oh, I can't mind how that went. Fucking, it's been too long, man. I've been watching William Hartnell. I'm like literally at the opposite end of the series.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. What we going for, Walter?
the kids enjoyed it. Robot of Sherwood.
Locking that in.
Fuck it. Do it.
You've locked in Robert of Sherwood.
And it's wrong.
And that is the wrong answer.
Fuck.
And you were close. It is In the Forest of the Night, the tree one.
The fucking bastard one with the trees.
Yep. Everyone's favourite episode.
Right.
Right. We've got a wee 2 to 10 review
I'm not doing
here.
very well here, am I?
No.
It's their fault.
It is
Whoever wrote
difficult.
these stinky reviews.
Remember, you've got, I think, 2 clues or something left. Right. Just
right enough.
when you need a clue, just ask. Right.
Right.
2 to 10. This is possibly the worst Doctor Who episode ever penned. Last 2 weeks were brilliant, but then the week after, was unbelievably disappointing. Without trying to make a pun, this episode was so repetitive. I went to get a drink halfway through, and when I came back, they were still doing the same thing. Last 5 minutes was a sum up of the whole episode, with the previous 40 seeming irrelevant. The only highlight for me was the last scene with Catherine Tate in the preview of next week. Now, this is a bit easier because it gives you something to go off on. Mentions Catherine Tate.
Aye, so we know that has to be series 4.
Mm-hmm.
The preview of next week. Could it be Turn Left? What had a big dramatic preview after it?
Well, aye, yeah, I get what you're thinking, Walter. Very
Sorry, I'm
thought.
watching the
Very
stream
deep
to try
thought.
and gauge your reaction when I said turn left. If you smiled, I would know.
Oh no, it's pure poker face by me, Walter.
Fucking. See, I can't even remember the order of series 4, and that's shocking. It's not allowed.
Do you have any other thoughts other than turn left? Not that I'm trying to put you off turn left.
How many? I've only got like one clue left, haven't I?
2 clues, but I just said you can ask me for a clue whenever you want.
Alright, fucking. I didn't want to use it as a crutch though, eh?
I get you.
Fucking turn left. What is the whole idea of, oh, they were doing the same thing? The previous 40 seemingly irrelevant. I can't think what that might be.
Once I have to say, once you hear what episode it is, it will make it very obvious what they're trying to say.
Previous 40 seemingly irrelevant. It's no turn left, is it? Ah!
Right, do you want a clue?
Sure, fuck it.
Right, it can be anything before turn left. So we're discounting the last
Oh, fuck. Do I even remember?
3 episodes. Anything before turn left.
Can I look up
in
the
series
order
4.
of series 4?
Yeah, just don't go in the reviews.
Right.
Yep, so anything before
Wikipedia.
turn left it could
No
be.
reviews in Wikipedia.
Anything before turn left and anything after Planet of the Ood. That gives you 8 episodes to work out. Have you got any new thoughts, Walter?
Fucking. I forgot about the Sontaran ones. They were not very well received. Possibly one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The bit at the end with Catherine Tate. What could that be in
Not that
reference
I'm trying to help you in any way, because I'm not. I could just be trying to put you off, but there is
Aye, 'cause
the
you're
bit.
a fucking bastard.
There is a bit at the end of the Sontaran episode because that's a 2-parter. In the first part, Wilfred gets locked in the car, so they could be alluding to that, and then that would have had a nice preview for next week if they were a fan. But obviously, if they're not a fan of the first part, why would they be excited for next week?
They're not dissing the fucking River 2-parter, are they? These are off IMDb, eh?
Yes.
But there've got to be countless brain dead shit asses, do you know what I mean? That just don't know good TV when it kicks them in the fucking jaw.
Yep.
So,
If you say either of the River ones,
Donna Noble
it's-
has left the library.
Oh yeah.
Could be in reference to that. It could be fucking anything, bro. Fucking give me it has the first part of the Centauran. No, lock in the first part of the River two-parter.
The Silence in the Library.
I think that's what it's called.
Right. Okay. That is incorrect.
Bitch off.
You didn't
What is it?
even mention the episode. This is for midnight.
What?
Repetitive, because they
Oh.
repeat each other.
Oh my fucking, very funny.
And there is like a wee bit at the end with Catherine Tate, isn't there? In the
I
spa.
forgot about that. When you said it was midnight, I immediately remembered that
Yeah,
end scene.
yeah.
The previous 40 seemingly irrelevant. Some motherfuckers are just totally oblivious, man.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Got a whole ass video.
Yes, you do. Go check
Well,
that out.
no,
That is a great video. I'll promo for you, Walter.
It's my only video at the moment. I've still not fucking finished that blank.
Right. Review number 7. 7 out of 10. This was an interesting episode, which reminded me of the episodes written by Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat,
Okay.
apparently. The episode concentrated on storytelling, not lecturing to the audience. We are nearing the end of this series, and it is now obvious where the weakest link is. The writing. This episode was not written by Chris Chibnall, which speaks volumes. 2 decent episodes out of 8 is not a good basis for a successful series.
Series 6. Right?
Series 6. I'm not answering anything.
Chris Chibnall's involved. Or are they referencing...
It says...
Like, when was it written?
Remember it says, which reminded me of the episodes written by Stephen Moffat. So it's talking about Stephen Moffat's written in the past.
Oh, so this is... Chibnall, I fucking read it wrong. Fair enough. This episode was not written by Chris Chibnall. So this has to be series 11, I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was not written by Chris Chibnall. Demons of the Punjab.
Are you locking in Demons of the Punjab?
It's the only thing I can think of in series 11.
Or do you want another little clue?
Now that you're offering me a clue, I'm starting to think it's no Demons
No,
of the Punjab,
I'm just offering.
Fucking give me the clue then, give me the clue!
This is an episode in series 12.
Oh, piss shit. Is this Villa Diodati?
It could very well be Villa Diodati.
Could be,
I can't even say
but
that word,
series...
Villa Diodati.
Spyfall wasn't written... No, we're nearing the end of the series. It's Villa Diodati. It's Villa Diodati, isn't it?
That is the correct answer, Walter.
Aye.
That is Villa Diodati.
As that fucking sets up... Well, we know what it sets up. Moving on.
Right, review number 8. 10 out of 10, a very short review. This made the Daleks scary again.
Fucking... Oh,
Well, we know it's a Dalek episode.
well, yeah. Is it... If it's a two-parter, do I need to pick the part?
No.
Right, so... I'm imagining... It could be Dalek, though, from the perspective of a classic Who fan.
Mm-hmm. Or they could be saying the Daleks weren't scary for a bit and then this brought it back.
The Daleks in New Who weren't scary for a bit, which is also true, I get. Well, more so in the Moffat era, I'd say.
Yes, definitely. Especially Series 5.
So what if this is post-Moffat? What if I'm way off?
Do you want a little clue?
Sure.
This is in the Russell T Davies era.
Right.
Love your thinking
It's
face.
either Dalek or fucking series 4 finale.
Johnny's End kind of finale.
Daleks. No, I don't think. I'm gonna say Dalek, and I'm saying that this is a classic Who fan.
Yeah, locking that in, Walter.
Aye, fuck it.
That is correct. That is Dalek.
Nice.
That's an actual review that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Review number 9. 1 out of 10. Even rewatching it years later, I had to turn off the TV for 2 reasons. 1, so my brain didn't fall out of boredom. Or 2, so my love for Who wasn't completely abolished by this shocker of an episode. Worst episode probably ever. If I'm ever unfortunate enough to meet Russell T Davies, I shall be forced to repeatedly kick him in the balls.
Boredom. Fear her. Maybe.
Is that your thoughts?
I mean,
Can't actually remember the answer to this.
what's boring in the art? They seem like somebody who hates RTD generally. But what's boring in the RTD era? Fear her, right?
Yeah, if you're asking me, Fear Her is a very boring episode.
Aye, Fear her's pretty ass, and then Loving Monsters right next to that sort of kicks you in the balls. What else could you call boring? This isn't an Eccleston episode, is it? No.
Yeah, I can't answer that question, Walter.
Fucking. I'll go with Fear Her. I don't know.
Fear Her.
Aye.
You're locking in Fear Her.
Aye, fuck it.
You are very, very close, Walter.
It's Loving Monsters.
It's Loving Monsters.
Oh, listen, you can't call Loving Monsters boring. I don't care. Like,
with a fucking absorber.
You're telling me you weren't engaged by that? I couldn't take my eyes off it, man.
It is.
There's a very, you can call it camp, melodramatic, cheesy, has sexual references where there shouldn't be sexual references. Boring is not a valid criticism.
Right, number 10. 10 out of 10. This episode has everything that makes a Doctor Who episode amazing. It is full of emotion, particularly towards the end. It sets up very powerful character confrontations, has a very deadly threat for the Doctor to deal with, and some heroic scenes from Tennant accompanied by Murray Gold's score, which is yet again masterful. What starts off as a casual adventure ends up being one of the most powerful stories for the Doctor, with a chilling ending.
I'm starting to think Family of Blood.
I'll give you a clue, there's no repeats. We did
Right,
Family of Blood.
So, with a chilling ending. This is a really well articulated review as well, which helps.
Yes. Well, I can tell you...
Character confrontations.
I can tell you, every reviewer I clicked on their profile just to have a wee look at it. And this guy had reviewed every episode of Doctor Who.
Right.
So this is a very... The guy... some other people just done like here or there episodes, normally giving them bad reviews. This person is obviously a diehard fan.
Right. What starts off as a casual adventure. He's saying Doomsday.
We're getting
Is
Doomsday.
Is it though?
Apparently. Remember that is the second part to something.
Yeah.
So
particularly towards the end. I see that. Heroic scenes from Tenet. Starts off as a casual adventure, though. I can't see that being Doomsday. I mean, maybe, because they just jump in the TARDIS with Mickey and then they go off some, but I wouldn't call that starts off as a casual adventure. Ends up being one of the with a chilling ending. Perhaps I see where the argument for Doomsday is coming from. Fucking.
do you want a clue,
I'm
Walter?
trying to. Uh, just to be on the safe side, go for it then.
Okay. So, this is in Series 4.
Well, it's no Doomsday then. With a chilling ending.
Very deep in thought, Walter.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm starting to think the River two-parter. If it's the River two-parter, everything this guy's saying I agree with. It's full of emotion, particularly towards the end. It sets up very powerful character confrontations. Has a very deadly threat, the Vashta Narada. Heroic scenes from Tenet. I pictured him running as the Doctor's theme's playing by Murray Goldscore, which is yet again masterful. What starts off as a casual adventure, just to the library. I'm going with that.
You're putting in the River two-parter.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you, Walter. That's the wrong answer.
How?
This is a review for The Waters of Mars.
Oh. Character confrontations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heroic scene. Yeah. Aye.
And
Questionable
a very chilling ending.
Aye.
Because he becomes
Chilling.
full-on Time Lord victorious at the end.
I looked at chilling. That's the one thing that doesn't apply to, like, River.
Okay. Number 11.
How many are there?
20.
Nice. I thought there was only 10. That's how I'll use that clue. But I suppose I've got infinite clues now.
Aye. 4 out of 10.
Infinite regeneration.
The production was excellent, as usual, and the script has some strong points. My issue was execution. I found myself fighting disbelief throughout. That hasn't happened to me up until this episode. The characters in this make decisions as stupid as teens in a horror movie.
Execution.
Is anybody saying anything in the chat? I've got Peter Kay is mesmerising. Somebody thinks this might be Age of Steel.
Can you tell me what era this is in?
Yes. This is in the Russell T Davies era.
Right. Make decisions that are stupid.
And I'm pretty sure this was from the same reviewer as the last.
Right, so
episodes.
This is...
I'm pretty sure, because I went on his thing and I just took this one from his reviews. I think... I don't know if this is for the last one, but maybe Age of Steel, someone is saying.
I can't see that being this. Disbelief throughout. I said the whole vortex disappears thing with Doomsday. That happened in Army of Ghosts, didn't it? In Age of Steel. That was...
Yes.
That was me getting these stories confused, which I often do. Just because of the whole Cyberman thing.
Yeah. Fair.
You forget that the Cybermen appeared twice in that series.
Yes, you do.
That hasn't happened to me yet. See, it's not as descriptive. It's not giving me a lot. Characters make decisions. We've done Love and Monsters, eh?
Yes, we have.
I can't think what it is.
If you want
I've
another
not
wee,
even thought about series 3 or 4.
if you want another wee clue, I can give you it.
Sure.
I highly disagree with this review.
So it's one that you personally really like.
Maybe.
Right. Unicorn and the Wasp, maybe, was my first thought.
Mhm.
I've got nothing else to go on, so that's what I'll go with.
The Unicorn and the Wasp.
Can I think? Sure, aye.
Okay. That's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
do want to be getting my phone out to look at the episode names to just remember the episodes.
This is for 42. And that I don't. Well, I disagree with the rating, but I kind of agree with all of this.
climbing into the escape pod to fucking in it. Yeah,
Oh, I just love that episode. Okay, right. This one's a bit easier because it's got the word finale in here. So,
right.
10 out of 10. This finale is epic, bold, and certainly welcome after the build-up. It's emotional. Bring tissues. The Doctor was on fire, along with the Master. The other characters were solid too. Only downside is they could have done with an extra 10 minutes, since it's tackling so much. But they managed to pull it all off, so it was great. And surprises blow your mind. Worth a watch.
Series 3, right?
Maybe.
Has to be. They wouldn't say Miss. They wouldn't refer to Missy as the Master.
Mm-hmm.
Unless.
Remember, the Master is in Dr. Falls.
That's true.
Just go through your Master episodes in your head.
That's not a finale. Well, it's sort of a finale.
Dr. Falls is technically the finale to series because there was a break.
Right. It's emotional.
So, just think of your finales with Master.
Aye. The only downside, since it's tackling so much, I think you've threw a curveball at me here. Because I can imagine
What are you thinking here?
what episode someone might say this about.
So what are you thinking, Water?
I think some illiterate bastard has wrote this about the timeless children.
You're 100% correct, Water.
I fucking knew it. Like,
This
nah.
is for the timeless children. Probably the most
Who?
wrong review
Where do these
ever.
people live? On what island? Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
What society, what savage society has given the internet to people like this?
Okay. 8 out of 10. I never liked River Song much.
Bill Mackey episode. What?
Maybe thinking of the finale of series 10, Dr. Falls. I never liked River Song much, but the relationship between her and the Doctor is splendid in this episode. It's a wonderful, carefree atmosphere, is refreshing after dense season. This is very poor English, but it's just copy and paste from IMDb.
Right. Angels, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Just gonna check what
Fucking...
the answer is.
What Angels one? What's it called? The one that you like, that's shit.
The Time of Angels.
That was my first thought. Is refreshing after a dense season, like... well, not carefree atmosphere. Maybe
So they are kind of suggesting that there's been quite a lot of dense episodes.
beforehand.
And then Time of Angels is quite near the start, is it not? It's 3 episodes in
Oh,
or
but I
something.
thought after a dense season, meaning series 4.
Oh yeah, you could argue that. I didn't think of it that way.
However, you've just implied that it's towards the end of a season, which rounds it down quite a bit.
I'm not implying anything more.
What the fuck is River in near the end of a season? Angels Take Manhattan, I can think of. I don't know, that's just because I've got Angels on the brain
That is
right
it.
now.
That's at the end of 7A, is it not? Is that not the last episode in 7A?
I think so, yeah.
That
But,
would half make sense then. Because series 7 before that is a pretty dense season.
Series 6, trying to think.
You can
What
look
could be
you can look up your
described
episodes
as-
if you need.
Right, I need to look them. It's been too long since I don't remember the order off by heart.
I shall allow you to look up some episodes.
I'm looking up the order of series 5 right now. I just need to like get it into my head the order that they go in, because a lot of these are like after the previous episodes, or do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Eh, hold on. Right, it can't be series 5. I fucking wrote 5 again. 6. Uh,
What are your thoughts?
oh, one that I forgot existed.
What one?
Let's Kill Hitler.
Oh, I love that episode.
Dense episodes.
Your eyes just lit up.
Oh,
What are you thinking?
I would have forgot that.
What?
Hold on. It's the fucking Christmas special, isn't it? With Capaldi.
Are you locking in? What is it called? The
Hold
Husbands of
on.
River Song.
After a dense season. What fucking season's that in? I'm making sure I've got this right.
9, I'm pretty sure. 8 or 9. It's not after 10, obviously. I think it's right after 9. It's aye. I'm gonna guess. 9. Yep, it comes right after Hellbent.
I'm going with that then.
Husbands of River Song.
Aye. I'm wrong, aren't I?
That is the correct answer, what?
Hey! See, I never even thought to go into Capaldi.
I know.
I was like,
You associate
carefree atmosphere.
You associate River Song so much with Tennant and Smith. You always forget she's in a Capaldi.
Mm-hmm.
Right. After an amazing 3 out of 10.
Am I winning?
You've got 5 so far. Correct. Which
Out
isn't
of
14. 13.
5 out of 14.
5 out of 13.
5 out of 13. Shit. Ass.
Rating 3 out of 10. After being an amazing series, this is the point the show lost its appeal. Stephen Moffat, SM, turned an amazing show into low-rated dross with childish scripts and terrible acting. Avoid.
Starting to think 11th hour,
Mm-hmm.
because just like childish scripts, sure. The way Matt Smith behaves in that episode puts a lot of people off,
Yeah.
even though they're wrong.
Even though it is an
Because it's
incredible
supposed to be
episode.
like post regeneration shit that happens to all the doctors, right?
Yep.
Like brain not worky. I go with 11th hour then. I
Final
know that's
answer.
a bit of a rash,
That was
fast
a
decision
very,
to make,
very
but
quick decision. And it has paid off for you. That is the correct answer.
there you go.
You're starting to get
3 out of
really
10
good at
on 11th
this.
hour. What do these people like? Like, what's good to you? Do you know what I
I
mean? Like, how
know.
does your brain work that you don't like 11th hour?
Okay, let's scroll down to.
11th hour is like top 3 establishing episodes for a doctor.
It's a,
That
ve-
and like, what is it called? Spearhead from Space.
it's a very short review, Walter.
Or probably joint first.
1 out of 10. Sorry, Tennant, but after that horrible two-parter, I want you to go.
Ah, I've caught it. It's fucking end of time, isn't it?
That's the correct answer, Walter.
Yes.
That was a really quick one. That was a nice, easy
that
one
was,
for you. It's just after I wasn't going to put that review in because it was a very easy one. But after I read it, I pissed myself laughing at it. First of all, who would diss
still
End
don't
of
know how
Time Part 2?
I see why people don't like it because how the Doctor's characterized, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly debating in my mind, like it's in character for 10 to be like that,
Yes.
even if it's not in character for like other Doctors to be like that. I could see Colin Baker being like that.
Yeah,
Like any
I get what you
Doctor
mean.
that's particularly like vain, when that's like put into its, when the implications are on character that has is drawn out in full like they are in the Davies era.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I'm trying to say is, if RTD wrote Colin Baker, that's what it would look like.
Okay, yeah.
Like, so it
I
is
get
sort
you.
of,
I get you.
just because we
I'm
haven't seen it before, it's sort of because that aspect of the Doctor's character hasn't been
Yeah,
fully
I'm
explored.
personally, I really like End of Time Part 2. I'm not so fussed in Part 1, but Part 2 is, I think,
I'm in
brilliant.
the same boat. I think I like End of Time. Obviously, I think of it as one story still.
Mhm.
I can't really separate them in my mind, but
Mhm.
I still feel like I understand where people's criticisms come from, but I still like it.
It also comes from my childhood because I remember watching that on New Year's Day, 2010.
So do I think with my dad.
Like, we were, because there was something else on in the living room and we had to go through, like all the Doctor Who fans had to go through the sitting room on the wee shitty telly and watch the Doctor Who special. We couldn't get the big telly. They were watching, oh God knows what. So it was like me, my mum and my Granda John, like sitting in the sitting room away from everybody watching the Tennant's last episode. That's all I associate with it. Right.
We've done Timeless Children.
Yes, we have.
I swear I've read this review before.
Number 1 out of 10. Number 16. I've tried to like this season. I really have. I've watched Who since I was a little kid, and I can overlook a lot, but I'm finally out. The writing this year is just dreadful. I flat out laughed at some of the unintentionally funny parts of this idiotic episode. I don't want to give any spoilers for anyone unfortunate enough to sit through this mess, but the big reveal, nothing works. Nothing about this works. And we have done the Timeless Children.
What? Big reveal. How many fucking big reveals are there?
It's Doctor Who a lot.
Well, in the Moffat era, maybe.
In the
So
Moffat era,
statistically, I should lean towards Moffat era, right?
you could, if you're looking towards Moffat era, you could probably think big reveal as in Husbands of River Song's a pretty big one.
So it's not that.
I'm just naming them off.
You handed that
Name
to
of the
me.
Doctor.
Like,
What else? Time of the Doctor. Day of the Doctor.
unintentionally funny parts of this episode.
If you want your little clue, I can hand it over.
Go for it.
This is in the Chibnall era.
Oh,
Just threw a wee curveball.
big reveal. We've done arachnids in the UK. That was my other thought.
Yep, we've done arachnids.
So it's. I'm trying to even remember the episodes, man.
You can look them up if you want.
I'll look up series 11 and 12. Series 11. Let me just scroll through episodes. The amount of these that I don't even remember is I just recognise names and remember nothing about the episode.
I rewatched this episode recently with Grandad John, and we both were very, very disappointed when it finished.
Big reveal. Possibly Spyfall. But Spyfall Part 1's typically well received.
Yeah, I really like
this
Spyfall Part 1.
season.
I think Spyfall Part 1's my favourite Jodie episode.
This season implies...
Yeah, good catch,
maybe
good catch.
11? Near the end of 11, I want to say.
Uh-huh. What's at the end of 11 then?
I need to go back to the Wikipedia page for 11 because my brain's already deleted the names of the episodes.
Yarno Sanders says, Reese wanna play, I'm guessing that's Rocket League?
Rocket League. Resolution. The Dalek one.
Do you know, I
Ranskour
still to this day cannot remember a thing about Ranskour Avkolos.
Coruscant on Rans, a planet where a psychic field that alters one's perception of reality. The Doctor provides her companions with neurobalancers they come across.
What episode's that for?
Pilot. Ranskour Avkolos.
Mate.
Oh, Sim Shah's there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So it's the one where Graham's like, I'm gonna kill Sim Shah, and then he doesn't, and that's...
Do you know what? I actually want to say that episode is worse than The Timeless Children, just because how forgettable it is. It's the most forgettable season finale.
I would rather forget an episode
than
have it be The Timeless Children, to be honest.
That's fair. Right, what are you going for here, Walter?
Why you give me Jodie episodes, man? I remember any of that shit. Possibly It Takes You Away, the one with the fucking frog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say It Takes You Away.
It Takes You Away. Well, Walter. That's the correct answer.
Aye, the fucking frog. The frog is the big reveal, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right. Review number 17. 9 out of 10. Yes, I do like surprises, and I especially loved this one. Incredible story with the best cliffhanger in Who's history. Bring on part 2.
Best cliffhanger in Who's history. Bring on part 2.
This was a very, very long review. And this is the last kind of paragraph from it. Because I
Right.
had to cut it down.
Spoilers, probably.
Oh,
But
yeah. Yeah, it was like a
yeah.
spoiler-filled review. It was basically
Mm,
like them going from the start to the very end of the episode, reviewing each bit of it.
possibly last of the no one before that. Sound of Drums.
Hmm.
I want to say Sound of Drums. What other two-parters? Am I in the right era?
Film reviewer Alex in the chat. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
How you doing, Alex? Good to see you.
If you want me to answer that question, I will answer it.
Yes, I do.
No, you're not in the right era.
Piss shit.
This is from the Moffat era.
All right.
We've been streaming for an hour, a lot longer than I thought we'd be spending on this. We've not even went on the tier list yet.
Pandorica. I don't know though. It's a fucking Bill Potts. It's fucking. Oh, it has to be.
It's great when you just like click.
It has to be, doesn't it?
What episode are you
Oh,
going for, Walter?
I forgot the name. I'll remember the name of World Enough in Time, right?
Are you locking that in, Walter?
I'm locking that in. World Enough in Time.
That is the correct answer.
Fucking John Sims' Master comes
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
and then fucking Bill Potts and the fucking Mondasian Cybermen design. Even though they sort of butchered it and made it less scary, it's still cool to see.
Got a
Yeah,
question.
I
Got a
see it.
question in the chat. Have you guys watched anything recently? I'm guessing they're asking for recommendations. You watched anything recently, Walter?
Batman the Animated Series, Doctor Who. Oh yeah.
Watch every
uh,
series of Doctor Who.
fucking Star Wars. I
Mm.
mean, these aren't controversial recommendations, but like,
What have I watched recently? I recently watched Bo Burnham's Inside on Netflix.
I've still not seen
It's
that.
brilliant.
Everybody
It
and
is
their dog told me to
brilliant.
watch it, but
It is genuinely like I was staying away from it because of the hype.
mm.
But once I watched it, I was like, yeah, that's phenomenal. So I'd recommend that. I also watched Little Shop of Horrors recently, which is an old movie. I really enjoyed that. Watched that with Big Daniel Johnston. And yeah, so there's some recommendations. Right, 10 out of 10. It is definitely up there. I can't think of anything better than it, but that doesn't mean others went just as good. The best of Moffat's Smith's era. Also, maybe they should have finished here, because while it does pick up later, there's nearly a whole season of nothing until near the end after this, if memory serves me right.
Time of the Doctor, possibly.
Mm.
Because I know a lot of people don't like Series 8.
I'm
And
personally one
when
of
he
those people.
said they should have ended it here, I mean, like, the Doctor could very well have just died there.
Yes. That is very true, Walter.
Best of Moffat Smith's era. It would be a good idea for the best of Moffat Smith's era to be the last of Moffat Smith's era. Maybe they should have finished here. I'm an idiot. They did. And then it was Capaldi. So, like, yeah, they did finish it. Right, so there is nearly a whole season of nothing until near the end. It's in Series 7. Let me just Google Series 7 real quick. I'm sorry, it's been
It's
too
alright.
long.
It's alright, mate.
Fucking, cause my brain's going to the fucking Cyberman one and the Crimson Horror and
Uh huh.
thinking like, yeah, shite. and then up until the end with the 50th.
Have you watched anything good, film reviewer Alex? Put it down in the chat. I'm needing recommendations. I'm looking forward to that. Do you watch Sex Education, Walter?
I have seen it. I don't think I've seen the new series though.
It's no yet. It's coming out on
Well, there you go. I've not
17th,
seen
I
it.
believe. 17th.
Rings of Akaten.
Are you locking in Rings of Akaten?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now I don't remember what the answer to this one is. So. Oh. Okay.
I noticed that all the episodes after that are episodes that I literally don't even remember the names of. So,
Okay.
well,
That
that and
is the wrong answer.
piss off. What is it then?
This is for Day of the Doctor.
A whole season of not. I guess. If memory serves me right. Memory might no serve you right.
Aye, so they're obviously looking back on this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was Day of the Doctor.
I wouldn't say it's the best thing Moffat and Smith ever done either.
It's another wee short one. 1 out of 10. Yes, I think everyone involved with the concept and writing could do with a holiday.
Is that all I've got to go on?
Yes,
Right, it's in the Chibnall era, right?
possibly. Yes,
Oh,
it is in
piss
it is in the Chibnall era.
Right. Concept and writing. Fuck it. The one with the pating.
The Saranga Conundrum.
Yeah.
Are you locking that in?
Either that or give me another clue.
Well, I'm not giving you another clue, so do you want to lock that in?
Fuck you. I'm locking it in.
Okay, and that is the wrong answer.
What a surprise.
It is for Orphan 55.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's equally valid for any of the
But it's a
pissy
pun.
middle
It's
episodes.
a
do you know what I
pun
mean?
because they go to a holiday. They go on holiday.
Oh, right.
Right, and for the very last review, Walter, it is worth 10,000 points. But you get no clues. None at all, and it is. I've saved the hardest to last. Because this is it's just one line. And this is a genuine review on IMDb. 2 out of 10, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Literally, could be any episode of Doctor Who ever. But if you get it, 10,000 points goes to you and you win life. What really interested me about this...
the Moffat era.
What really interested me about this is 2 out of 10. And then they've gave it, like, the worst review ever. So there was something that... I can't say, mate.
I know you're not allowed to give me clues, but I feel... It's in the Moffat
You feel that in
era.
your bones.
Because Moffat writes a lot of shit that doesn't make any fucking sense. Namely, series arcs like Pandorica. I want to say Pandorica.
Are you locking in Pandorica?
I'm allowed no clues.
No clues.
Hold on. What? Series 6 is probably more.
My one of my favourite series.
I know, but
of Doctor Who.
the whole all of history happening at once thing.
Yeah, I get you. It's overwhelming.
Yes. I'll go with that.
What episode
I'm
you going
never
with?
going to get this.
You
The
just
fucking...
you just said
that-
series 6.
Aye, the fucking Series 6 finale.
The Wedding of River Song.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay, well, I can tell you that is, Walter, the wrong
Wrong.
answer. And if you want to have another guess, I'll give you a wee clue.
Right.
It's written by Moffat, but is not in the Moffat era.
No. I refuse.
What you
What
thinking?
is there that's, well, I suppose either of them could sort of confuse people.
Mhm. And what ones are you thinking here, Walter?
I mean, it has to be either Blink or fucking, what's her name? Clockwork Droids pissing. We watched it with fucking Reese and Lee, was it?
Fireplace one.
Aye, Girl in the Fireplace. It has to be one of them, right? Because I don't think there is any others.
Is there not a Moffat episode in series 2?
One. Series 1, there's
Oh,
gas masks.
gas masks. Yep.
And fucking, what's his name for Merlin's in it? Uh, I'm gonna go with Blink. All the wibbly wobbly. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is Blink. That
Fucking
was a review for Blink, which I hate. Well, I love Blink, but I hate that review.
It does make sense. You
It
just need
does
to
make
think about
make
it.
sense. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what
There's
really annoys me.
bootstrap paradoxes, but that's like the point of it.
You got 10 out of 20, Walter.
Is it bootstrap paradoxes?
I have no idea, mate.
I think it is.
You got a solid 10 out of 20
Yeah.
there. That was a very, very good.
50%. Right, we're doing the.
Should we be even more controversial now with a Star Wars tier list?
Aye, we're gonna rip each other's heads off here.
Right, so it's in a random order. We can go in episode order if you want, or we can just go in the order it says here. We'll do it in episode. We'll start with episode 1.
Episode 1.
Phantom Menace. Darth
A
Maul.
lot
at
of
the
people
end.
hate it.
Yeah.
I
think
don't hate it as much as a lot of people do.
no, I'm the same as you. I think I hate it a bit more than you. If you can mind Jar Jar Binks and poo jokes, if you can stand that, you'll get through the film because the lightsaber fights are awesome.
Aye, Maul.
The
brings it
end.
up a bit.
I think the last fight is maybe one of my favorite Star Wars lightsaber fights ever. I love that last fight. The score, the Duel of the Fates score by John Williams is phenomenal. I'd stick it in probably the C tier,
I'm thinking.
but I could happily go B tier as well.
I'm thinking lowest of the B tier.
Uh-huh.
I know I've not put anything else in yet, but
Yeah,
that's
okay.
probably.
I can go with
Aye.
that. Right, episode 2, Attack of the Clones. My least favourite Star Wars film. D.
I like
D.
it.
Get it in the
Really?
bin. Get it in the bin. I
Really?
hate it. I can't fucking stand it.
I'd put it probably above Phantom Menace.
Really? No.
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the political shit,
At least
but
Phantom
I
Menace
feel like
is fun.
I've always said that characterizes Palpatine pretty well, because like he's pulling the strings behind the
Yeah.
scenes, and that's saying a lot about him.
It's
like,
just boring.
You don't see a lot of the Emperor, but the point of that is that's who the Emperor is. You don't see a lot of him, you just see his influence.
Yeah. To be
Because Attack of the Clones, essentially, you've got a war between two factions who are both fighting for the same person,
Mhm.
and the only reason the war's happening is so that he can get emergency power.
I
It's
get
fucking,
you.
it's good.
No.
It's fucking.
It's poor writing, it's poor dialogue. The only scene that
I mean, poor dialogue, George Lucas, like fucking.
the only scene
Very good,
I
very profound.
I kind of like is the bit where he finds his mother and he kills the sand people. That scene is well done because it does show him
This
turning
is important
slowly.
to Anakin's character arc as well.
Yeah, and
I don't think I'd go below B here.
really, right, I'd happily stick it below as long as it's below Phantom Menace. Like
Whatever, sure.
I cannot put that
Sure.
over Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is such a
We'll
superior film.
compromise on that. I would put it.
Right.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm liking it, to be honest. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
see, the more I think about it, the more I realise how much I despise it. I hate.
Jesus, man.
See all the stuff on Camino. I hate all that.
I think your frame's not lined up right, I've just realised, for this whole stream.
Don't care. It's
There's a
fine.
wee white bit under it. Under your camera.
Okay, it's fine. Do you want me to actually I'll sort it in stream. Pure rebel.
I mean, there's nothing... I was like that before, you know? Like,
Aye, no, it's fine.
paranoid about everything
It's
being
fine.
perfect
It's
before I
fine.
go live. But people don't... You need to learn that people don't care.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, just all fix... See if you moved it without saying anything, nobody would have even noticed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like,
I'll just leave it. Right, aye, all the stuff in Camino.
because you can't figure out how to do it.
I can't stand. No, I can. I will
Okay,
do it
but
just to
whatever.
prove you. No, all the stuff in Camino in episode 2 I can't stand when Obi-Wan goes to that planet and he fucking fights Django. I can't stand that. And then there's the my least favourite scene in any Star Wars film is, do you know where I can never remember how they end up there, but Anakin and Padme end up in like a droid factory where they're like making droids, and it is the poorest CGI you'll ever see in your life. It's like you're remembering
Factory.
so much good, but I'm
Uh,
just remembering everything that's so bad about it.
What you're saying, it does sort of sound
And-
like filler and like...
Personally, I'm not a fan of the Colosseum fight at the end. Personally,
Really?
but
Damn.
a lot of people are, so I can kind of
Aye,
overlook
that was like the first image that popped into my head.
I
for
prefer
Attack of the
I prefer the Dooku and Yoda fight to the Colosseum fight. Personally, I quite like the Yoda fight, but yeah,
Mm.
I'm happy where it is. I think, even though
Sure,
I
okay.
would have put it a lot lower. Right, Revenge of
Bro,
the Sith.
the C, see the way it is now. The C tier would be empty and the sequels would be in D.
No,
You
no, no, no,
understand?
no,
Like,
no.
fuck it. We're gonna argue in a minute, man. I can feel it brewing.
Right, Revenge of the Sith. Fantastic film. The best prequel, in my opinion. I think in everybody's opinion, Revenge of the Sith is the best prequel.
S.
Wouldn't say that.
A or S.
I would reserve S for the original 3. Because they
I
are
wouldn't
on a
put all of the original 3 in S, I don't think.
what? Really?
I mean, that's a very sort of romanticised way to go about it. You
I
know,
mean, no.
they have their flaws.
If one of them was bad, I would put it lower. I just think all of them are fucking amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And
would maybe.
you could say
I like 6 more than a lot of people do. I'd probably put 6
six is
in S.
6 is the worst of the originals.
I mean, the bit at the beginning with fucking like Jabba the Hutt and that is like meh, but
Oh, I
like
hate all
the
that
whole
stuff.
confrontations with like Palpatine and that.
Do you know what? I'd put
and
episode 4
This
in.
is why I'm a fucking. I wonder how much the way I went about it chronologically and you went about it
Uh,
release
Release
has
is so much
influenced
better.
our views.
Release is so much better. Release and watch the
The
original.
character arc from the fucking prequels transfers seamlessly into the originals, and you can't like tell that it wasn't pre-planned.
Nah.
I can't.
I always look at it like
That to me is like the whole point of Star Wars.
the
like
three-
the fucking Skywalker arc is like flawless.
the 3 prequels I always think are like almost flashbacks to the originals because they talk about a lot of it
I know
in
that
the
they
originals.
make like. I know that they make like visual like Easter eggs and callbacks and that, but like character wise and like narrative
Mhm.
wise, the prequels just feel like they come before the originals.
Mhm. Yeah. I
And
get you.
then you
I get you.
see that's this is partly why I like episode 6 as well. When you see uh, Palpatine and Vader talking in 6, it just feels like Palpatine and
Well,
Anakin logically went that way.
I
It doesn't
watched
feel like even two separate actors. Like,
I watched in chronological order when I watched them all with do you know Melissa McMullen?
hmm
I watched them all with her because she had never seen any of them before. Well, I think she'd seen bits like here and there. And then with Mia, I watched them in release order, and I much more enjoyed the release order
I couldn't
personally.
imagine. It's like watching the second half of the series and then first for
Well,
me. Do you know what I mean?
I
It's
do it
like,
I do it in a very weird order. I do the originals, the prequels, then the two story movies, so Rogue One and Solo, and then I do the sequels last. Save the best to
alright.
last. Know what I mean?
That's a fucking good one, Jack Logan. I will give you that. That's hilarious.
Aye. So Revenge of the Sith. I think we both. I think that's one that we'll probably both agree on. It is a great movie.
I'd put it in S though.
Okay. the more I,
Like,
the more I think about it, the more I love it.
like the whole, the fucking, they built up. Obviously, I talk non-stop about Anakin's character arc
Hmm.
and how all these characters interact with each other, and
That's
that's all built up throughout the first two, and then fucking the climax in that movie is spot on.
that's another thing that I'm gonna say about episode 2. Hayden Christensen can act to save his life in episode 2.
It was definitely better in episode 3.
Episode
Yeah,
3, he
I see what you mean.
bucked up his ideas a bit because he was brilliant in
Uh,
episode 3. It's such a stark comparison when you look at it.
mm,
But yeah, I'm happy with putting it in S tier. Right, let's
yeah.
do New Hope. My personal favourite Star Wars movie. I'd stick it right in there.
Mm,
Yeah. It is the Star Wars movie. I know a lot of people think Empire's better, and I think is your favourite 6 like out of the original 3? A
I
lot of
think
people
so,
think
yeah.
Empire's the best.
You'll notice that I'm the same way sort of like Doctor Who episodes in that. It's like I like characters and like
Mm.
character arcs.
I get you. I
And
get
the
you.
reason I love 6 and 3 so much is because they're like build up, build up, build up, build up, wham.
5
Do
is
you
a
know what I
lot of
mean?
that as well, though, with all the shit
Mm,
with Yoda and stuff.
that's true.
But I
Aye.
can see how 4 you don't think it's very character. Well, it's not got a lot of character stuff in it. It does set up a lot though.
It sets up Luke, which is important. Aye. It sets up
It's
everything
it's
really.
always the Star Wars
I feel
movie. If I
like
could pick one to watch, it would be A New Hope any day of the week.
it is good.
I'm
I,
very
I would
happy with it.
personally probably put it in A, but if
Okay,
you want to keep it in S, I'm not too fussed.
I'd. Mm. Nah, it's staying in S, but I'll put it below Revenge of the Sith if you're insistent on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye.
I don't agree, but we'll go with it. Right,
I
Empire
understand.
Strikes Back. S for me,
Eh,
but there, like I'd go there.
agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's I think it's 90% of the fandom's favorite Star Wars movie. It is like the
Mm.
Star Wars movie to them. And to be fair, when I watch it back, I'm like, oh, it's almost my favorite Star. Like this is so close to being my favorite.
Mm.
Especially there's not a dull moment in it. It's unreal. Because I can think of a few dull moments in A New Hope. But Empire's just consistently fun. And all that stuff with Yoda is some of the best Star Wars stuff, I think. Return of the Jedi, where would you put that? I'm excited to hear your opinion on this.
Probably to the top of S, just above fucking 3.
Okay. If it was my list, I'd think I'd put it there.
Really?
Well, I think episode 3 would be at the end. For me. Like, if I were doing it, it would be like that right now.
Right.
But I would put it like... I'm not actually entirely sure. Look, as long as the 3 originals are in S, I think I'm happy.
I would put 6 to the far left of S then, because...
I think I'm happy with that, because the 3 originals are my favourites, so... Right, we'll do...
I'd probably say 6 is my favourite
We'll
Star
do
Wars movie.
Rogue One next, then.
Rogue One.
I
never even realised we were doing...
Love Rogue One.
Rogue One's fucking good.
I'd put Rogue One in A, personally.
Agree, yeah.
It's the Star Wars movie that grew on me the most, because I didn't actually like it the first time I watched it, like, at all. And then I rewatched it and was like, oh, this is actually really, really good. So I don't really know what was off with me the first time watching it.
I remember the fucking ending of that hit me. Not like the whole Leia and that, but like the fact that the two of them just died on that planet and remained nameless.
Mia wouldn't mind me saying this, but she was in floods of tears at the end of that. It is a very emotional ending. Because you spend a full film setting these characters up, and then they just die, and it's such a spoiler alert, but they just die, and it's literally just it's very sad. I can't remember if I cried when I watched it first time. I don't think I did. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. And then we've got Solo if we want to do the next story. I'm not a fan of Solo at all. Personally, I like the...
I don't hate it, but
I'd put it like... there.
Low B, C, I, sure.
I'm not a fan of all the... romance stuff in that film with him and Emilia Clarke.
This is a weird gripe to have, but it's like... The way the world building is done in that, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like Star Wars. I 100% agree with you. It doesn't feel like it's set
in the Star Wars universe. I think it's because like this is a film from Han Solo's perspective, so we're seeing like the gritty underbelly of like bounty hunters and like smugglers and whatever.
I've always said this, and you can disagree with me, but you'd be the first person to disagree with me. Solo is a great sci-fi movie, but a bad Star Wars movie.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Because it's got a lot of fun action, but it just doesn't feel like Star Wars for some reason. Except for the big
I think it is
Darth
just
Maul
the
reveal
world
at the
building.
end.
Like, it feels more like Blade Runner than fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, and it's got a solid director behind it. Ron Howard directed it, who's like probably the...
Sort of ironic that it feels like Blade Runner, eh?
How?
Because it's fucking Han Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
But yeah, I'm happy with it in C. Now, we come to the sequels. Now, Walter, I didn't know if you knew this, but I'm a big fan of the sequels. So look at my Kylo Ren mural, and I've got a Kylo Ren saber up there.
Oh, I can't see your picture yet because the stream's pretty far behind. But
I just showed the guys
I can see it though, like even though you're not pointing to it. But
yeah. And I've got a Kylo Ren saber up there.
Right? Obviously, we've talked about the 6 movies that we're both pretty much in love with, but all of like the character shit that I loved, and like the shit that a lot of people don't appreciate, like the Force being like a metaphor for the relationship between power and morality and all that. There's a lot of people think of Star Wars as just like fun kids movies, but like there's a lot of deeper, meaningful shit to be interpreted there
Mhm.
that just doesn't exist in these movies.
Okay.
I can understand if you are someone like you said that just thinks that Star Wars are like fun kids movies, then sure I can see.
Not even fun kids movies. Fun movies. As long as they're fun, I think I can
I
appreciate it
suppose,
more.
but I'm not opposed to
Like
fun,
the
but I don't
prequels.
think Star Wars should be like reduced to just lightsaber duels and shit. Do you know what I
The
mean?
prequels, especially 1 and 2, are filled with political crap, in my opinion, that it makes it just boring.
I
Um,
suppose it depends what perspective you
yeah,
go in with.
here's my perspective on the sequels. I take it also from a point of view of watching The Force Awakens on opening night in cinema in 2015 and watching Han Solo walk through the doors of Millennium Falcon again and fucking screaming your head off.
I see that, but I feel like
I honestly think if you saw Force
that's.
Awakens opening night in cinemas, if you were like a fan, you would have, because
I feel like they're just.
it's generally considered a good film by Star Wars fans. The other two aren't so much, but the first one
Mm,
is.
I suppose I can. It does. I will agree that it goes downhill.
Would you agree that
Like,
it is the best of the sequels, The Force Awakens?
eh, yes. Full disclosure, by the way,
Uh huh.
I haven't watched episode 9 to the end.
Wait,
I've turned it
where
off.
did you get to?
Like, fucking Palpatine is alive, and I was like, that is not canon. Simply.
I have
Like,
a good friend. I don't know if they're watching the stream, but it's Mr. Moviebug, who hates the Rise of Skywalker with a passion. I'm
listen,
actually.
which
You should
I'm
tune in to on Monday. I'm going on Moviebug's live stream, and I'm sure if you hit some Rise of Skywalker comments, and he'll be raging for the full stream. It'll be great.
listen. Right. Let me talk about. I know that we're still talking about Force Awakens. Right. We'll get to Rise. Right.
Okay. Force
Where are we
Awakens.
putting Force Awakens?
Right. I'll tell you where I'd put it, and then you can tell me where you'd put it.
I mean, I
Right.
wouldn't put it above C.
Right. I'll tell you where I'd put it. I'd stick it there, but I know you
Really?
disagree with that.
Gee, fuck. Like,
I would happily put it in B ahead of the prequels. Or maybe even in the middle of the two. I'm not putting it down to C. No chance.
I would highest I would go is the lowest B. I know that you don't like fucking Attack of the Clones,
I hate
which
it.
fair enough.
Right, I'd do that.
But if you're,
I'd do that. As long as I say it's better than Attack of the Clones.
I disagree with that. Really, whatever.
Right. Okay. Personally, it would go an A for me, and what would you say? It would go C for you.
Probably C below Solo then.
Okay. Right. Right. Last Jedi. My
Can't
least
even remember
favorite.
much of it.
My least favorite of the sequels. This is the one that I can
Is that the
admit
one where No,
has problems.
they all sort of blend into one for me.
This is the
Uh,
one where they're basically on a ship for the full movie, and it's slowly
does
running
she
out of
get
power.
captured? What one's the one where she uses the mind trick just
That's
willy nilly?
Force Awakens.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Please put it below 2. Jesus
No,
Christ!
no chance.
That's bro. That's horrendous.
Because she's a
Bro, they gave her
Jedi.
cheat code. What? No, she is, bro. Ugh,
She is one with the Force.
bro, that's literally just like
I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
Force is a Deus Ex Machina. Like, what? Why can she? Oh, she just has the Force, like with no real training whatsoever. Oh,
Right. Last Jedi. This is the one that I can admit. Out of all the sequels, this is the only one that has big problems for me.
Wait, counting 9.
Counting
9's
9.
going in D, and I'm not compromising
No,
on
no,
that.
no, no, no. Right, okay, let's talk.
Bro,
Let's talk about
fuck
Last Jedi
off.
first. Last Jedi is a lot of people aren't a fan of Luke's character in Last Jedi.
That's true. I do
I
remember it
I
now that you've said
personally
that.
don't mind Luke's character in The Last Jedi. I don't like it. I don't hate it.
I suppose I sort of struggle to construct a vision of where Luke's character would
Have
go
you
after
have
6,
have you watched
but
Mandalorian
it's
yet?
not there. Not yet.
Okay, okay. I'm just checking.
But I
Um,
understand that they're thinking about retconning the sequels, aren't they?
well, there
That's
was
what
there
I've
was
heard.
talks that the creators were going to retcon the sequels in the Book of Boba Fett, which is coming out soon. But I don't know. It's from the same writers, kind of thing. So, but then season 3 of Mandalorian's happening as well. So, but I don't. I personally don't think Disney will allow them to do that. I don't think there's a chance in hell. I
I
think
mean,
Disney.
why would Disney care though?
I think
Like
Disney
the
would.
films have been seen.
I think Disney would rather fire Jon Favreau than. I think if Jon
I
Favreau
don't think
becomes president of
Disney
Lucas,
even like fully comprehend what retcon means. To be totally honest with you, I thought they would just be like, fine. Like the movies have
no,
made their
no, no, no,
money.
no. They were
Do you
going
know what I
to.
mean?
They were literally thinking about like rewriting bits of the sequels.
How do you mean?
And like implement them into their series, if that makes sense.
Right, so
They were like
not
physically.
acting as though. Oh,
They
like
were physically going to rewrite stuff.
aye. So not just disregard the
Yeah,
sequels
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah.
never happened.
No, they were physically, I think, thinking about rewriting stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm
That's
sure I
what I
read.
mean. Like, so they were gonna essentially overwrite the sequels.
Yeah, in a sense.
But that's what I'm saying though. I don't think any higher ups at Disney really care.
No, I think they do.
Like maybe I don't know, cause like on the
I think George Lucas
the
would be
way I
very
see it,
happy for the sequels to be retconned.
like as long as if I'm a higher up at Disney, from a business standpoint, they movies have sort of made their money.
Yeah. Well,
So like
personally, I
if
think
this new thing can make more money
what
and
would
like appeases fans more,
what would be better,
do it.
consistent, because consistency is a big thing. Like if they disregard the sequels, then it's not because they did happen. It's canon, technically.
Aye, well that's what a retcon is. It would no longer be canon.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know what I
yeah. So if
mean?
they want to stay, because a lot of fans do consider, even if they don't 100% agree with the stuff that the sequels did, they do consider the sequels as happening.
I
So
wouldn't, to be honest.
it would be difficult to. I think it would be too big a challenge for Disney to take up right now.
I feel, see, even watching like the stuff we've talked about, how like lightsabers work differently in the sequels. Like it doesn't even really feel like the same universe. Like,
Yeah, but the lightsabers work differently in every trilogy.
mm,
In
I
the
feel like
it doesn't make any
the
sense that
important
the
stuff
prequels
is sort of maintained.
in the prequels they're almost choreographed fight scenes, and then in the originals it's very just tap 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 tap.
I suppose you could sort of attribute that to budget though,
Yeah, but then
and like technology at the time.
in the sequels it's very more. I think they're going for that kind of feel of the originals again. I think that's what they were going for, because they could easily have done choreographed fight scenes again if they wanted to.
Hmm.
But I do feel that they're trying to go for more of an original feel, because it does take place after the originals.
Well, I was sort of more talking about like in universe and like also the narrative significance of the fights, but like
Mm.
I
Right.
see what you're
Okay.
saying.
Where would you put the Last Jedi? I'd stick it in B right there. but
I don't think
I'd
I'd put it above Solo.
okay, I can go there easily for Last Jedi.
Sure. Are we really going to
Right,
disagree on episode? I don't think I've even met like a sequel fan that likes episode
The
9.
Rise of Skywalker, is
Let me
I.
explain my perspective, right?
You not even finished it.
No, I don't need to finish it.
Do you know?
Listen,
Do you know how it
right?
ends? Do you know where the story comes to a conclusion?
No.
Where did you? Right, where? What was like the last thing you saw in Rise of Skywalker?
Like the fucking cloning tanks for fucking what's his name was grown in.
That's like in the first 10 minutes of the
I know,
movie.
and then like fucking you hear Palpatine's voice,
So you
and
didn't.
then it's like, oh, he's still alive, and then they just throw in a fucking quote, and like, oh, that's
The
how he's
dark
still
side of the
alive.
Force is a pathway to many
Like it's
abilities.
just such a fucking
Right.
such like fanfic.
Right.
Do you know?
Okay.
And
So.
listen, this is the important shit, right? Like even if they did justify it that way, that's not important. What's important is the implications that this has on everything I love about the first 6 movies.
Right. Let's chat about the
Right?
first 10 minutes that you've seen. Then, Walter. I
Listen,
think
listen.
that.
The fucking Anakin, right?
Yeah.
Anakin's whole arc with like Palpatine in that. Anakin's prophesized to be this fucking like, oh, Qui-Gon's like, there's a prophecy that so strong with the Force, and he's gonna like destroy the Sith, and then by episode 3, you're like, oh, that's no happening.
Outside.
He's
Out.
turned into this fucking the most evil man in the universe. He's been corrupted by Palpatine,
Yeah.
and then the originals, right? Fucking Darth Vader, and he's like continues to be this big villain, and then Luke redeems him,
Mhm.
and then it isn't Luke that kills Palpatine, it's Anakin,
Mhm.
and that fucking prophecy comes true. And then
Yeah.
he's cremated the way Qui-Gon is, and that like the visual metaphor is obvious.
Do you know? I'm actually going to text movie
That
bug
whole
and tell him to
that
get in this
whole
stream.
fucking the whole fucking like point of
James.
that character is that. And then, what is the point in Palpatine being? Like,
Hold on,
Palpatine
Rise
served
of-
his purpose.
on my stream right now. I'm messaging my friend who hates Rise of Skywalker and asking if he can come in this stream because he hates it with a passion. He's done a full video on his channel
The
about
whole,
it.
from a
Basically
narrative, from a
slagging it
writing
off.
perspective, the whole reason Palpatine exists is so Anakin can kill him. So bringing him back is just
right,
so
Right,
redundant.
Walter. Let me speak for 5 minutes. Right, so the Palpatine coming back makes sense, right? With that line, when he says the dark side of the Force is the pathway to many abilities, some consider it to be unnatural, is a line from when he's talking about Darth Plagueis the Wise,
Right,
who could cheat death.
right.
So it does tie in that it is very, very, very likely that Palpatine could easily cheat death.
I'm not talking about, like, physically.
You're talking
Like,
about. You're talking.
obviously, it's fictional. Like, if they want to bring them back, there's nothing physically stopping them.
Right, yeah.
I'm talking about the implications that it has on that original.
You're
If
ta-
you
you're
consider
talking
that
about-
canon,
You're talking.
then
You're talking
Anakin's
about.
whole arc is basically useless.
You're talking about they shouldn't have brought him back. That's what you're
They
saying, basically.
shouldn't have.
Okay, that's.
Like,
I mean,
because of the implications it has on
well,
everything that's already happened.
I was very of that opinion when the trailer came out and you heard his voice in the trailer. And I'm like, oh, they're bringing him back for a cheap kind of move to get fans on board
It
again,
certainly feels that way.
right?
It
But
certainly fucking feels that way.
for me, they did enough with him later on in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it in case you ever choose to
I
watch
probably should watch it again.
it. But what?
But I can't see it. Like, regardless of what they do with him in that movie, if the events of that movie is canon
Uh-huh.
and Palpatine's still alive, then Anakin's whole arc is useless.
I
By
mean,
just objectively, like, well, objectively based on my parameters, you could say,
They
but
they
I
they
can't
um
imagine any other
they do
interpretation of that
they
art.
do stuff with Palpatine which I think is very good in Rise of Skywalker. And
Perhaps they do, perhaps they do, but I
um
can't
I
see
can't
it
I can't
justifying
I can't go
fucking up
into too
6
many
movies.
things with Rise of Skywalker because obviously you haven't seen it. And I don't want to spoil anything. Especially the big twist which
This
happens
is
in the
the
movie.
fucking timeless children of Star Wars, by the way. Like,
Do you know the twist?
no, the
Okay.
fucking what twist?
The big twist in Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, that fucking Ray is.
Yes.
I've been exposed to it
Okay.
through
Yeah.
internet.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
chat about that then. I think that was good as well, personally.
I
It felt
suppose.
a bit repetitive of I Am Your Father, but it was good. I
Um,
like the Rise of Skywalker, but in comparison, if we're going to compare it to like the Disney's two big franchises right now, you've got MCU and you've got Star Wars.
mhm.
Endgame is on a different level to Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker should have got the Endgame treatment, because Endgame's on a different level to this. But I still think this is a solid. I've always said that this is a good Star Wars movie, but not a good last Star Wars movie.
I can't.
I'd personally stick it.
I'm going into this assuming that all of this is canon, right? So
I'd
I
put it,
can't, in good faith, put that anywhere above D,
I'd put it there if I was doing it.
based on the implications that it has on everything else.
If I was doing it, I'd stick it in B. Probably like there.
You really don't like Attack of the Clones.
I don't like
but
Attack of the Clones. If you wanna, I don't think I could dip down to The Last Jedi with The Rise of Skywalker. I'd like stick it there if you need. But at B all day long. It's such a B movie.
I mean, the movies below that are sort of. As long as it's at the bottom of the list, it's all relative, you know, so you can keep it there if you want.
Right. Okay. Are we happy with this list?
I mean,
Not really.
Rise would definitely have its own tier as D, but
Okay.
that's how
Watch Rise of
how
Skywalker.
the cookie crumbles, you know.
I like Rise of Skywalker. I think Rise of Skywalker's good. I don't know if James has came in the chat. If you're there, James, we just finished debating the Rise of Skywalker fan, and Walter is not a fan. But yeah, that's our combined tier list.
Like that Palpatine thing perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about, where it's like the creators clearly really like the spectacle of bringing Palpatine back.
Yeah.
And they thought that would look good on the posters.
It did
but the
feel like a cheap
implication
trick.
that
It did
has
feel
on
like
the
a cheap trick.
characters that people love
No, you're.
is just totally not taken into account.
I see where you're coming from. When the trailers came out, it did feel like a cheap trick to me, but I like what they did with it personally. Also,
I'll need to fucking watch it,
if,
but
if
I don't know if I'll get to the end of it, man. With it just
if we should watch it together,
like, I can watch to
we should
give you
watch it
some
together.
perspective. To give you some perspective, I can watch Timeless Children, but I can't watch that to the end.
Oh nah, Timeless Children
Like,
is shit.
I know, but like, you must see.
I see where you're
I
coming
don't
from.
know what perspective you have, because it's like
It's such
I
a fun
dislike
movie.
this for the same reasons that I dislike Timeless Children.
It's such a fun movie. Timeless Children isn't fun at all.
That's true.
If you're looking at it on a sheer action point of view, Rise of Skywalker would be actually higher
I
than
never
B for
really
me.
like to look at the films that way though, because it feels like it's overlooking
No, I get that. I get
so
that.
much of the
It's
good
two different.
shit that's like.
We're on two different
never-
kind of sides of the fandom here.
I've never walked away feel like just like a fun action movie or a slasher movie feeling the way that I do when I walk away feel like episode 3 or fucking 6, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's
I get
shit
you.
that you need to sit down and think about for like half an hour after you've
I
watched
get you.
it. Like, damn,
Personally, there isn't a Star Wars film other than Attack of the Clones that I hate.
really?
Well, the Clone Wars movie. Personally, have you ever seen that? It's the animated one.
No, I've not delved into the extended stuff yet.
The Clone Wars movie is bad. Right. Okay. Let's do our next tier list, which is the Doctors.
Oh, here we go. We're gonna disagree on Colin Baker and McCoy.
We'll just go in
I think that's maybe it.
we'll just go in order here. Joe Martin.
Joe Martin.
We'll start with her. For me, she'd go in like C.
B, I would say.
No.
Bro, what's hilarious is, right?
She's a
Fugitive of the Judoon. Jodie's there. And she just totally overshadows Jodie. And it's like,
I'd stick it in here, I think. She's not been elaborated enough to actually
I see that.
like say, oh, this
I
I enjoy
I'm
her.
not too passionate about Joe Martin.
Whenever her and Jodie are on screen together, she overshadows Jodie. I
I
agree.
suppose it's like the Rick and Morty thing where the dumb Morty waves cancel out the smart Rick waves. It's like whenever she's got Jodie Whittaker next to her, she's better
Yeah,
by like the black hole of like
yeah.
negativity that surrounds
Are
Jodie.
you happy with it being in C?
Sure, I
Right.
mean, not too fast.
Tenant.
A.
A. What about S? It's
I
Tennant.
used to think S, and then I watched Classic Who, and I was like,
It's David Tennant,
it,
Walter. It's
it doesn't compare to Tom Baker, Sylvester McCoy, or Patrick
no.
Troughton.
I think Tennant is probably. I always used to say. To be fair, I always used to say he was the best Doctor, and then I
So did
realised
I.
how much of Series 2 I actually hate.
I used to be, because obviously back when I'd only seen New Who, I only had like 3 or 4 Doctors to go off of. So
Because
he was the best of them.
my Doctors
But
change about a lot. This is like.
McCoy, Troughton is actually probably my favourite currently.
Okay.
Ironically, I've seen the least of him, but I think his character just is the Doctor archetype.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Of Classic Who, what I've seen, Baker's my favourite. Like Tom Baker.
Baker's definitely S.
Right, we'll do Matt Smith next. For me, personally, as of today, and how I've been rewatching Doctor Who, he'd go above Tennant for me.
Really?
But I that
put him
changes a
pretty
lot.
low when I do these lists.
Really, I love Matt
He
Smith.
ends up, he always ends up in B-ish sort of area.
Nah, I love Matt Smith. I do see how some people don't like him. He's very
Rings of Akaten. He delivers that
Oh,
powerful speech.
Rings of
He's brilliant,
Akaten
right?
is
But see,
beautiful.
before that, I've always felt that his speeches have sort of fell short.
I
Even
like
people point to Pandorica, and I'm
I like the Pandorica speech. I like
sort of.
the speech he gives to the I can't remember the name of the villain, but in the first episode, the big eyeball thing.
Oh, the taxi.
Yeah, I like that speech at the end of that.
That is good. Yeah.
Um,
Don't know if it warrants A or S though.
what else? I'm trying to think of other Matt Smith speeches now. Well, I'm
Can
a big
we
fan.
agree on highest B?
I'm a bit yeah, sure. I'm a big fan of Series 6, as you know.
I'm sort of going the same way. Series 5 has good standalone stories, but Series 6 has the better arc of
Series
the two.
6 is the bit. Aye, yeah. Capaldi is a very B Doctor for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I would go top A or bottom S.
Really? What?
Yes. Fucking see the Zygon inversion.
I couldn't put. Oh, I've not watched that episode since it like aired.
fucking watch it, and you will agree with me. Do you understand?
I don't think I could put him above
That
Tennant,
speech
man.
is just so, and he's acting, man, just fucking hell. Like, he goes above Tennant for me.
Whenever I watch a Capaldi episode, for some reason I always seem to catch him at his worst. So maybe that
There
is
is a few shit Capaldi episodes. I'm sort of coming from it from the perspective of who the characters are
Robot
and
of
how they're
Sher
portrayed rather than how many episodes I like and don't
Robot
like.
of Sherwood is a big one for me. I hate that episode. I really dislike
It's pretty
Robot of
ass.
Sherwood.
It's pretty ass. But
Um,
Capaldi at his best is S tier.
a lot of Series 8 for me falls flat. Um,
Mm.
I
Series
like.
9's probably my favourite of his.
I think Series 10 is my favourite of Capaldi.
Really?
Yeah, especially the last two episodes. If you count Twice Upon a Time as well, last three episodes, I think are
Series
exceptional.
9's just got strings of constant bangers.
To be fair, I
like.
watched the is it the opening two-parter, which is it Magician's Apprentice? Is that what it's called?
Aye,
The
the
one with
Davros one.
Davros is like a little kid at the start of it. I rewatched that and I quite enjoyed it. I don't think I could put him above Tennant. My childhood is coming out here, and I'm like, no.
I was that way as well, but obviously I have a sentimental attachment to Tennant because of him being my childhood doctor, just the same way you do. But when I look at it
To be
objectively,
fair,
I'm like,
I don't think
Tennant
Tennant.
isn't as all he's cracked. He's overhyped. Like, I'm sure
No,
you wouldn't argue that Tennant's.
I mean he's very hyped, but I think Series 3 and 4 Tennant lives up to that hype. Series 2 Tennant lacks a bit, but he is just kind of settling into the role. You could argue the same with Capaldi in Series 8. And Matt Smith in Series 5 kind of thing. They're all just settling into the role.
I feel like Capaldi embodies the Doctor more, for me personally. I won't argue with you on A, but I'm comfortable with him being there.
Okay.
But if it was me, it would be an S.
Okay. Jodie.
D.
Yeah. That was pretty
mean,
simple.
No disrespect to the
She's
lassie.
had a few decent
She got a
episodes.
Villa Diodati and Demons of the Punjab are decent.
Villa Diodati.
Demons of the Punjab sort of not because of her though. Understand that I'm coming to this judging the characters, not the episodes, and there is really nothing to judge here outside of Villa Diodati, where she's pretty good, but that just doesn't cut it for me.
Villa Diodati is a good episode. I enjoyed that. I really also enjoy Spyfall Part 1. I think that's my favourite Whittaker episode, personally.
You said that earlier,
aye. Part 2 falls flat. But Part 1's good. And I also like Fugitive of the Judoon. Just for the Captain Jack scenes. But yeah, her as a doctor is... Well, the writing of her doctor is bad. She could have been a good doctor.
I hope fucking the minute she leaves, Big Finish is like getting into some stories.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Colin Baker. Eh? Even though I'm not too fussed about Colin Baker's TV stuff, I really like Trial of a Time Lord.
No.
The individual stories are sort of meh, but the overarching
of Colin Baker, I've seen
interaction between him and the Valiard and that is good.
I've seen his first few episodes, and then I've also seen Trial of a Time Lord, I think.
Aye, fucking Twin Dilemma is famously like the worst episode of Doctor Who.
Is that the one where he tries to strangle?
Aye, and they try and play it off as like post-regeneration.
Aye.
But I don't think that makes you more eccentric, you know? You don't want
Aye.
to fucking kill people. I suppose they were trying to communicate that this Doctor had a darker character, but I've never really seen that. It doesn't compare to McCoy or Tennant.
Okay. Let's talk about Hartnell first.
Hartnell.
For me, personally, B.
high B, low A. Just put him.
Yeah, I could do that.
Aye.
I could do that.
The
I
earlier, I will say, the earlier seasons, I would have put Hartnell like low B, C. But as I'm getting into, because
uh-huh.
obviously I'm still watching a lot of the 60s stuff,
What I've
he
seen.
starts to become more friendly and he has
Yeah,
a bit more depth to him, I
yeah.
find.
What I've seen of Hartnell, I like. I've just not seen enough, personally.
Mm.
I've seen like half of the first series.
Interesting you should say that you've not seen enough, because I have seen 2 episodes of Patrick Troughton,
Hmm.
and he's S tier for me.
Really,
He's fucking. This is what the Doctor is.
I don't think I've seen a Troughton episode ever.
Fucking. Tomb of the Cybermen and War Games are the 2 that I've seen, and he's good in Tomb of the Cybermen. There's a wee emotional scene there, and I'm like, I
I
like this character. And then in War Games, he's fucking perfect.
I cannot imagine him being better than Tennant or Smith.
Yes, S.
Okay, I'll trust you.
I'm not going lower than S.
I'll trust you. I'll trust you.
I would put him,
Oh, Baker can go S all
Tom.
day.
Yeah.
But can I put Baker above Troughton, please?
Eh. Mm,
Baker
I would
is
say Baker goes. I don't know.
nah. It's Baker
The
any day.
whole eccentricity thing that Baker does. Think about it this way: Baker's known as like the wackiest Doctor, right?
Yeah.
Troughton invented that,
Mm. I just
and it's his. He brought that to the character.
does Troughton not have like a recorder? He
Yeah,
just like whips it.
he does that
Yeah.
in the Three Doctors. Technically, I've seen 3 Troughton stories.
Mm.
4, counting the 5 Doctors.
Let's do.
5 counting Day the Doctor.
I'm
We're
I'm
stretching.
I'm
So
I'm happy with how we're looking right now. To be fair,
I would
with
honestly
Baker.
put Troughton above Baker, but Baker is phenomenal, so I'm not going to argue with you
Okay.
on that.
Right, Pertwee. Pertwee, I actually really enjoy.
Fucking same. Underrated era
I
of the
like
show.
Pertwee. Of what I've seen, I might actually
Um,
pull up IMDb and check what I've seen of Pertwee. I can never name
I've seen
classic
all of
Who.
Pertwee,
Have you?
and fucking. I don't know. I know I said I was judging based off the characters, not the episodes, but I feel like his episodes are some of the best of Doctor Who at all.
Mm.
Like, I really love Doctor Who and the Silurians,
I've
the Green
s-
Death. Fucking, how can I forget? Spearhead from Space, his opening story is like
I've seen Spearhead in Space.
tied with what's it called? The Matt Smith story. My headphones have just fucked up. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Aye, sorry, I couldn't hear you there,
What's the series of Pertwee's where he's stuck on Earth?
uh, that's the first. I think the first 2 he's stuck on Earth, or the first one.
I've seen all of that series, I think, because I remember a
Right.
lot of him being stuck on Earth.
Aye, Spearhead from Space
I've definitely seen Spearhead from Space. I
is
can remember that.
tied with 11th Hour for best establishing story.
Mm. I
I'd
think
put
I actually
him
watched Spearhead from Space after you told me to watch it.
high B, low A,
I
above Hartnell or below
I'd
Capaldi. Pick
go
one.
there.
I'm fine with that.
Right, Davidson.
C or D, to be honest.
Really, I
Like,
like Peter Davison. He's
um,
he is quite reminiscent of Jodie.
character wise, there's not a lot going on, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
but then
and
this
he's no
is where
got
we're.
the stories to back him up either.
To be fair, I think I've only seen his latter stuff, which is apparently a lot better than his earlier stuff.
Oh, I fucking
I have seen.
Caves of Androzani's pretty good, but I still don't feel like I feel like it's overhyped.
I have seen.
Put him in put him in C, I'd
Okay.
say.
Above Joe Martin.
I don't know. I don't.
I've seen
Sure, I'm not going to argue with you.
Resurrection of the Daleks. I've seen
I
the
like the soundtrack to that, but I can't remember. Because they use it in, they use the soundtrack to that in that fucking Moffat thing. What's it called?
don't
What
know,
is
mate.
that? What is it? Curse of Fatal Death.
Oh yeah,
When the Daleks come through the door, they
yeah.
use that soundtrack that I really like. Aye.
And I've seen Caves of Androzani,
Caves
which
of Androzani's pretty good, aye. But I feel like
and
all in
I've
all, his era's
also I'm
pretty.
sure I've seen another one, and I've seen. Oh, I can't find it, but it's like Enchanted or something like that. It's called. I can't remember.
Oh,
Enchanted or
I think I know what you're on about.
Enhanced or something like that. I can't find it on here for some reason, but it's like a three-parter or a four-parter.
Aye, it's on the top of my head. I know what you're trying to get at.
It's the one where is he in like a race or something at the start of it? I can't remember much about it, but I've definitely seen it.
I can't mind much either, but I know the title you're trying to get.
Mm.
I don't remember much of his stuff, to be honest. That's like the issue I have, really, is like sort of.
Enlightenment. There it is.
Ah,
I've seen that.
that's
I liked that. I
with the
remember liking that.
Eternals.
Yes.
I like the sort of. I like how bold they were with that. It's pretty weird, which is where Doctor
Mm.
Who thrives. Speaking of weird and where Doctor Who thrives,
Mhm.
Colin Baker, put him in B.
No.
Why not?
Because he's crap.
He is not.
I can't
Fucking
stand
watch
the.
Trial of a Time Lord again. His
I
performance is
have. I
fantastic.
can't stand that pretentious prick. I don't know if it's just coming out of
Listen,
I've watched him live at Comic Con and he's a
here's my
knob.
here's my based opinion, right?
Mhm.
If you like Tennant, you like Colin Baker.
No. I know
Tennant in series 3 Tennant is
I know
more arrogant than Colin Baker.
I know more Tennant. I know fans of Doctor Who are a fan of Tennant and not fans of Colin Baker.
I mean, I don't understand it.
I'd
Like,
put him in C or lowest B.
it goes lowest B then is fine for me.
Right. He's certainly not better than Matt
That
Smith
is,
in my opinion.
mm, I don't know. Some of the performances he gives are pretty stellar.
Mm.
He got
Okay.
shafted by the BBC too. Like, Kenny, I'm pretty sure John Nathan Turner phoned him and told him he was fired. Like, fuck you, do you know what I
I
mean?
think he said that
And they
at
wonder
Comic
why he
Con.
didn't come back for the regeneration.
He seemed. I don't know if I got like arrogance confused with him genuinely upset about it because at Comic Con he was talking about that and he seemed very petty about it all.
What was he
Um,
saying, like?
and I remember him just saying because somebody asked him about how he was fired or something, and he did this full on rant about him getting a phone call or something.
I mean, whether he's joking or not,
Mm.
like,
I could just have a weird
won't
sense of
blame
humour.
you.
Okay, I'm
Like,
happy.
if he is joking, obviously that's like good for him for taking the L and whatever. But if he isn't joking, like, still fair enough
Yeah.
because BBC
I'm
were
just,
arseholes
but
at this time.
I'm just thinking like
This was.
it's like 40 year
I'm not
on,
going to
mate.
make that argument actually.
It's 40 year
But
on. Like, calm down. He still seemed as angry
I
about
know,
it
but
now.
I'm just as angry about. Like they blamed him for the failure of Doctor Who. Like no,
Right. Sylvester McCoy.
I know that you're not a McCoy fan, but he's S for me.
He's grown on me a little.
See fucking. I'm pretty sure you've seen all the ones that people don't like in season 24. Even though I personally like
I've seen
Paradise Towers,
I've
which is an
seen
unpopular opinion
I've
of
seen
mine.
Time in the Rani, which was
Time in the
crap.
Rani's ass. Right?
I've seen Delta and the Bannerman.
Eh.
I have seen. Don't think I've seen anything in 25. I've seen The Greatest Show in the Galaxy.
Greatest Show in the Galaxy is fucking great.
I can't remember much about it, mate. And I've seen
It's
I've seen
the
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
It's first
Oh,
in season 26.
a lot of people
Oh
like
no,
that, but I don't remember much of it.
I don't think I have seen.
The faves of mine are
No,
like Rogue One's
I've
Greatest Show
seen,
in the Galaxy.
I've seen Survival. I get that confused with Battlefield.
Survival's overrated because it's the last story. I'm sure the
I,
script was
out,
when it was written was fine, but it's directed like an LSD trip.
out of
Is
all,
Reese still here? I
I've got,
think it was me and Reese that watched it, and I said like,
I've got two viewers,
"Who
mate.
the fuck directed this? Because it's an LSD trip."
Um, I think out of all of them, Survival was the one I enjoyed the most, but I can't remember
Really?
much. He would go in probably low B or high C for me.
He's S for me. Like you need to watch fucking. Well,
No.
I'll show you fucking what is it called? Paradise Towers, which a lot of people don't like, but I personally really love. It's really like camp and over the top, but I feel like it sort of owns that as its vibe. It's not
How
like it doesn't take itself too seriously
how
kind of thing.
about there?
But Happiness Patrol, like
Happiness Patrol. What
he's
season?
not going below A for me.
Really?
Aye.
Well, he can go at the.
He was my favourite Doctor for a long time.
He can go there then. He's not going higher than Capaldi or Tennant. No
I would have
chance.
had him in S.
No
Right.
chance.
Here, this is the same argument I made about Tom Baker and Patrick Troughton, right?
Mhm.
You like the darker elements of Tennant, right?
Mhm.
McCoy fucking invented that.
I
Like,
mean,
you got to remember that
I need to. I need to.
Human Nature was originally written for McCoy, and it
Yeah.
makes so much sense because he embodies that
I
character.
need. I need to watch
The Time War
more
would have went
McCoy.
on for 2 minutes if Seven was involved.
I need to watch more
He's
of McCoy.
taking nothing.
I need to watch more of McCoy, as I said.
Well, we
Um.
can both agree on that, at least.
I'm happy where he is.
John Hart, I suppose we're getting into Big Finish territory now, really, aren't we?
I've not. Well, that can be for you to decide, mate. And in Day of the Doctor, he's good.
Mm,
I would stick him in C, maybe B. B on a
in
good day.
between 3 and 1.
Okay, that's fine with me. Oh, there we go.
Or maybe, nah, because I like Hartnell
See,
a lot more.
I'd
So.
have Smith so much higher.
Aye, I know, that's what's throwing you off.
Smith would be. I could.
Just put him just below 1 for me then.
John Hart.
Aye.
Okay. See, I'd have Smith like here, like up
Aye,
in
I
A.
know, but he's just the one, like, New Who Doctor, bar Jodie, that
The rest,
doesn't quite... He's like the fifth Doctor of New Who for me. He's sort of like...
mm, the rest,
Uh,
I relatively agree with, except for Smith and
mm,
Colin Baker. Get fucking doing a bit.
eh,
Right,
8.
Paul McGann.
8.
I
I've
l-
not even seen much Big Finish of that,
No,
but
all I can go off of is the movie,
the
which
TV movie,
and the
and
Night of
he's
the
like the
Doctor.
one... Aye. I prefer his characterization in the TV movie to his characterization in Night of the Doctor.
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the movie. I quite like the movie. It's quite campy, but it's good.
The plot's nothing, but
Oh yeah, and it's
McGann's
probably, in my opinion, probably the worst Master that we've
good.
gotten. I'm not a fan of the Master.
I know that they're doing a lot with what's his name in Big Finish, so I don't want to speak too badly about him. But in
I'd
the
like
TV movie, he's sort of too camp.
I'd stick him in B, C.
I'd probably stick him in A.
What, McGann?
based on just his characterization in the TV movie, he's got so many lines that are just like,
Okay.
yes.
Um. Okay.
Below McCoy,
Okay.
then.
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Right, and last up,
See the
Eccles.
scene where he's trying on the shoes? It's
Yeah.
like, and then before that, I think it is, where he's like, it was a child's dream that made you a doctor. You dreamt that you could hold back death. Seems so
Mm.
like, I love like the gothic aesthetic that that movie has, and like he fits into that world so well.
Yeah.
Even though the plot's like nothing, but like I like the idea that it presents and the way he's characterized.
Yeah.
So 9,
S.
the last one. S?
Yep.
Really?
I think tonight I'm feeling Eccleston's my favourite Doctor.
Really?
I
Have you listened
love
to fucking?
Eccleston. I listened to a good bit of the first story and then I fell asleep.
Oh, rip.
I was zonked, so that's probably why. No, Eccleston is.
I would put him in A or B.
I'll go A then because I don't think I could go.
Alright.
I always go between, and I'm such. This is gonna make me sound like such a New Who fanboy, but I always go between 9, 10, and 11 as being like my favourite Doctor.
I know.
Um,
For
9,
me, it's like 2, 4, 7 now.
9, 10, 11 are always my top 3, and then 4's under that, but 4 is so close.
It used to
Um,
be 10, and then now it's like 2, 4, and 7.
mm, right,
Depending on what I've watched recently.
I'd go like there or like there.
Eh,
Either above Tennant or below Tennant. I wouldn't put him below Capaldi. He should have had more series of Who, let's be honest.
yeah, well, he's getting Big Finish now, where I
He-
think he's gonna fucking fight the Cybermen. I
He re-
think it's in the second or third box set though,
he
which
re-
I will get.
yeah, he regenerated far too quickly, man.
Aye, but that was due to behind the scenes shit.
Yeah,
So
he wanted to leave, so fair dues. I'm happy with that list, to be honest. If you want me to move him below Tennant, I'll do that, but if you're happy with him above Tennant,
I'd say Tennant goes above.
okay, that's fine.
But it's all about perspective,
Oh.
you know. Like 12 would definitely go above 10, and 7 would go above 10 for me. You know.
No.
So 7 belongs in S. Oh
No.
man,
No.
just.
Okay, I think that's
What
quite a
I've realised
controversial
looking
list.
at my 3S tiers is they sort of represent in their entirety what makes the Doctor.
Mm.
'Cause
Yeah, I can
4
see
is
that.
eccentric and like wacky, and
Mhm.
2 is like compassionate and emotional, and to a degree pretty eccentric, and
Mhm.
7 is like the fucking power mad, like god.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And those
Mm.
3 archetypes sort of blend together, and that's what the Doctor
I
is.
I personally prefer Sylvester McCoy's performance in Still Game.
Archie.
Big Archie. Right.
That's a
Okay.
pretty stellar episode of Still Game too, to be honest.
That is a good episode of Still Game. I wonder if there's a Still Game tier list.
Bro, we
Um,
can't. It's like 10 to 9. Are we doing Batman villains?
Well, I don't know
I
animated.
think we should do
I could do live action Batman villains, no bother.
what, like Nicholson and that.
Yeah,
What, even like Batman Forever and stuff.
yeah, it'll include.
See,
Let's see
I
what's
thought it
in
was
this.
like the concept of the villains, but I suppose if you're going
Oh,
into like,
Jesus.
oh, this is including. Is it including Gotham?
Yeah, I don't know Gotham, mate.
Is it including I can't. Aye, that's Fire. No, Tigress. I think. Her
I
name
don't
is.
know if I know enough
It's
about
been a while
this.
since I saw Gotham.
We could do one more quick one.
You never even played Lego Batman, bro. Every live action adapted
Oh,
Batman villain.
That's the one I just clicked on.
All right.
Let's see what else there is here. Because we could do another quick one. I had the MCU one open, but that would take us fucking forever.
It's like 10 to 9, bro. Skins UK characters.
I've never watched Skins.
Fuck.
I know it's on my radar.
What about like live action Jokers or just Jokers in general?
Okay, let's do. If I type in Joker, best live action Joker portrayal.
That'll be pretty quick, I think. I have some interesting views on this though.
So do
I
I.
suppose if you're not
So do I.
counting Mark Hamill.
Right. Should we go from earliest and go with Cesar Romero's?
See, I've not seen much of 60s Batman, but I can't
I've s-
imagine the
I've
things that I
seen-
like about the Joker as a character are present back then.
I'm gonna stick Caesar. I'd stick him in there. He's all right. He's decent. I've seen some 60s Batman, like whenever
Okay.
Granda John watches it. He's decent. He's
Who
definitely
else?
he's much more upbeat. Almost, he's not as terrifying as some of the incarnations of the Joker we get. He's very campy. A bit reminiscent of Nicholson's Batman. Much more campy. But yeah. And then we'll go Nicholson next. Have you seen Batman 1989?
Yes, it was a while ago though. I've been meaning to rewatch it since I watched the animated series because
Yeah,
that
I
takes a lot of influence for that in
I
terms of world building
really
and
love
stuff.
Batman 1989. It's like joint with The Dark Knight for me is like being the best Batman movie.
Here's the thing: everything that the Dark Knight does right, 89 does wrong, and everything 89 does right, the Dark Knight does wrong
I get
for
you.
me.
I get you.
Like in terms of like the visuals and like the tone in that, I think 89 nailed that.
Yes,
But in
agreed.
terms of like the characters and the way they're
No.
characterized and the relationships between them, I feel like the
I
Dark Knight got that
prefer
down.
I prefer Keaton's Batman to Bale's Batman. A big bit, I think.
Why do you say that?
Well, I'll rephrase. I think Keaton's a better Bruce Wayne,
Yeah,
and
I'll take that.
Christian Bale's a better Batman.
Yeah,
He nails that a bit more than Bale, I think.
the whole one big thing that we've neglected to mention that's very important to me is 89 Batman kills people. Like that's a massive misinterpretation of Batman's character. I get at the time like it was sort of up in the air and like they wanted to make Batman dark.
Yeah.
So they thought I guess it's all right for him to kill people now, but I feel like since then we've established rules like
Yeah.
the point I feel like the Joker can't really exist without Batman's no killing rule. He dies in 89, doesn't he? Which sort of demonstrates, like... Because I think the thing that everybody
Joker?
loves about Heath... I think, aye, does he not drop him off the fucking...
Yeah.
Aye. The thing that everybody loves about Ledger, this is how I'm saying everything TDK gets right, 89 gets wrong, and vice versa.
Yeah.
The thing that everybody likes about Heath's Joker is, like, the relationship that him and Batman have, where it's like he represents like everything that's evil about humanity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get
And
you.
then like he's playing on the idea that he knows Batman won't kill him in a way, and then he's trying to demonstrate to him how stupid his philosophy is. Like, if you don't kill me, I'm just going to continue ruining people's lives.
Yeah.
And just because of your stupid, pretentious thing that you've got in your head, you're gonna continue to let them die. That doesn't. That's like my favorite thing about the Batman Joker dynamic, and that doesn't work if Batman kills people.
Mm.
Also, Nicholson's Joker, while the surface level traits, like his eccentricity in that, is all perfect.
Mhm.
Like sort of um like the charisma and stuff. That's what I think was missing for Ledger.
Mm.
But
I'd put
I'm pretty
Nichols.
sure if I remember rightly, Nicholson's like, doesn't he fancy Vicky Vale?
Yes.
Like, that's simply not what the Joker
I'd
is. You know
I'd
what I mean?
put
Like,
I'd put Nicholson there.
yeah.
He's good. He has a good Joker, but he's not the best by any means. He yeah.
I think Cameron Monaghan would honestly go above Ledger for me. I don't know though, 'cause Ledger definitely does that dynamic thing.
What one are you
Like
talking
I
about?
said, Gotham Joker.
I've not seen Gotham, so you're gonna have to.
They've got all three of them
What one's
that's
that?
played by the three
Oh, the three.
interpretations
Right.
of.
Okay. But we'll do them next then, and you can just put them where you like, mate.
Right.
Start left, and we'll go right.
Do Ledger next so that I can get that.
Right. Okay. Ledger for me would amazing, verging on the
Agree.
top one.
I would put him in Amazing as well.
He gets the dark side of the Joker down to a T.
That's always been the thing. It's like if you could have Nicholson's eccentricity with Ledger's worldview and philosophy, that's just the perfect Joker archetype.
Mhm.
And that's what I think Mark Hamill's in the Arkham games represents. And also, that's what I think, not quite, but the closest we've ever got in live action, the far left Cameron Monaghan is.
Okay.
Because there's three different interpretations of the Joker
So
here.
where are you thinking?
I put him in the Joker top tier.
Okay. I'll just I'll take your word on it.
Who is that in the far left? I can't see.
This is Jared Leto's Joker from Justice League.
Oh, I don't think I've even seen Justice League.
No, never.
I know that I've
just
seen
go there?
Suicide Squad.
I don't know
I've
because
seen
we've not seen it.
Suicide Squad and
I
fucking.
I haven't seen Suicide Squad. I'm currently watching the DC films with Mum.
I'd put him at the bottom. I know a lot of people hate him, and I sort of. Yeah, like. They try to parrot that Ledger thing of like. Literally saying, like, tell, don't show, I'm an idea.
Mm.
But it comes off as like half hearted and like doesn't really fit in the world that they've built.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, fucking DC, fucking what is his name? Ben Affleck Batman kills people, right?
Mhm.
So
No
like,
spoilers.
I know, but like
I've only seen what have I seen?
philosophy wise, he's fine with killing people.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I've seen what have I
like
seen
this
of?
simply wouldn't happen,
I've
and
seen.
that
I watched Man of Steel. I think that's all I've seen of the DCEU. And I thought Man of Steel was pretty shit.
I should point out as well. I've just thought, like how I said, Heath Ledger's philosophy meets Jack Nicholson's
Mhm.
charisma as the perfect Joker. I
Mm.
think Christian Bale's worldview and philosophy meets Michael Keaton's like comic booky
Yeah.
spookiness.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect Batman, and that's coincidentally what I think Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill are.
Mm.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So what about these two here? Because I've got no idea.
That middle one, that's they sort of took this Joker and this is speaks to a broader problem about Gotham, which is the writing in Gotham got progressively more shit as it went
Mm.
on. This is why we have three interpretations of the Joker. Let me explain to you.
Yeah.
That first Joker is fucking god tier, right? And then this is his identical twin brother.
Right.
Like that's no a trope.
Uh-huh.
And he's sort of I appreciate that gave them as tropey as that is, it's fucking shit and fan fictiony as anything, but it gave them an opportunity to explore a different Joker archetype, and they sort of went with a more. He's not an eccentric Joker in any stretch of the imagination. He's a more like reserved sort of Hannibal Lecter figure. I can't I've not seen Dark Knight Returns, but I've heard people compare him to Dark Knight Returns Joker. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but
Mm.
I don't know. It's sort of. I liked him as a villain, but not as a Joker. Like, I liked him in the way that I like Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter. He's very
Yeah.
has that vibe about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
Joker to me is a
Okay.
wildly eccentric character, which is
So whereabouts are we going here?
okay
Okay. I'm above
above.
Caesar Romero.
Yeah,
And
and
what about this guy?
this this is when they do a fucking. In the last episode, they were gonna they cancelled Gotham,
Yeah.
and they weren't able to conclude it properly. So
Mm.
in the last episode, they done a fucking time jump into the future. This is
Right.
an okay. This is essentially the Joker's. This is the Joker in the Gotham universe. This is when Batman is going about, and this isn't a precursor to the Joker. This isn't what will soon become the Joker. This is their Joker. But it's sort of a fucking Mark Hamill impression. Not gonna lie.
Mm.
It, I don't know how to feel about it though. His character design is bold, and I've thought about that myself as an interpretation of the Joker. Like, if you wanted to go the realism route, why wouldn't he just be fucking acid burnt to fuck? Do you know?
Mm.
He has like thin strands of green hair. I don't know if you can see in that
Yeah. Yeah.
photo,
Yeah.
but like, and his face is all fucked up. Like, it's rough to the touch kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that idea in terms of character design. It was bold. I know that it's not the Joker of the comics we're familiar with, but it's like, what if you took the comic Joker's origin story and applied real world physics and chemistry to it?
Yeah.
You would probably end up with that. He sort of parrots Heath Ledger in a few of his mannerisms as well.
Mhm.
I'd probably put him in good because
Above or
some of his
below Nicholson?
below, I'd say,
Right. Okay.
because purely from an acting perspective, some of his delivery in that, and some of the way the lines are written in that are pretty cheesy, and it's some of his delivery seems not as sincere as it could be.
Yeah. Okay. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Here's a unique take. I don't even consider this a Joker really, because it's a fantastic character, but it doesn't represent the archetype that I'm familiar with.
It's definitely a brand new kind of take on the Joker.
Aye, it's sort of.
Personally,
You
I
couldn't
think
compare
Joaquin.
him to any of these.
If you're judging on performance alone, Joaquin Phoenix steals the show for me a little bit.
Aye, but at the same, I agree with that.
But
But in the
yeah,
context of this list, I wouldn't put him in like up next to where Cameron Monaghan is, or
I think I'd put him like right next to Heath Ledger.
I'd probably put him in good purely because
I'd he is, I think.
like he doesn't have a Batman for a start, so the sort of
Yeah, but I don't know.
there's a piece missing. Listen, here's my take on Joker, like the movie.
I absolutely love the movie, by the way.
It didn't need to be set in the DC universe at all.
It's not set in
Like
the
I
DC.
feel like
It's not set in the DC
no, I
universe.
mean like it didn't have to use DC intellectual properties. It could have just
Hmm.
been like I've not seen what is the guy's name? I've not seen it. I don't.
Joaquin
It
Phoenix.
wasn't. No, the direct people have
Todd
compared him.
Phillips.
I
Todd
don't
Phillips
think
is
that's his name.
the director
People
of Joker.
Who directed Taxi Driver?
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese. That's it. I've not seen any of the movies, but people
Oh,
compare him
mate, you're
to.
missing out.
People compare this to a Scorsese movie,
Taxi
and I don't know
Driver
if that holds.
especially. Taxi Driver is basically Joker.
That's what I'm thinking. Like this movie is like a character study of like sort of an incel or sort of hermit kind of
Mm,
character, but that didn't need to be the Joker. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I sort of it feels weird even putting him on this list.
yeah,
Do you know
I
what I
get
mean?
you.
He's
I
like
get you.
he's not embodying the same archetype that these characters are.
Yeah, I get you. I still think the film is phenomenal. Um,
So they are. Like I think it's a really fucking good movie, top tier. But the Joker, the idea of the Joker, isn't present in that movie,
mm.
even though it's
There's
called Joker
there's
and has Bruce Wayne in it and fucking.
there's rumors that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is going to pop up elsewhere in the DCEU. Well, not the DCEU, but DC's universe. Um,
I think
I think I'd
I
prefer
feel
Joker
like
to
it
be
would
very
be
standalone. I think I would prefer that.
so they are because I feel like it's like I'm saying he doesn't really represent this Joker's archetype.
People think he's
They
gonna.
could build a totally new interpretation of DC around this universe,
People are.
but I can't see him going toe to toe with like fucking Ben Affleck or Christian Bale kind of characters.
People are thinking that he's going to show up in the Pattinson one that's coming out.
Oh,
People are thinking that's going to happen. That's a big speculation.
that would be interesting. Riddler's the main villain in that, isn't he?
Yeah,
We've not
Riddler
seen a
and
fucking Riddler
Penguin.
movie in a long time.
It's Riddler and Penguin that are in the new ones.
The only live action Riddler there's been,
It's Jim
other than the
Carrey.
guy in Gotham who is perfect, but Jim
I
Carrey's Riddler in Batman Forever,
I
which
personally
is
think, and I think there was like a thing going about on Facebook and stuff about this. I think David Tennant would make a good Riddler.
oh, I never even fucking considered that. That's a brilliant idea.
Tennant would be a fantastic. Because have you ever seen
Even Joker,
Jessica Jones?
no, I've not.
He's well, I've seen a few episodes here and there, but his performance of the villain in that, and it's so good. And if he took that and applied that to Riddler, then you could actually get a really good Riddler out of him.
I the
It
guy
was
I
like,
don't know the guy's name,
hold on,
but the guy from Gotham just is the Riddler to me.
I'll show you. There was concept art, was there not?
That looks so fucking cool.
Aye, that.
That's so cool looking.
And you were saying the Gotham Riddler.
Aye.
Gotham Riddler.
You just need to look at him,
Oh yeah,
like.
yeah.
But the way he's characterized as well is pretty
Who's
stellar,
playing
which is
the?
strange because a lot of the writing in that show is ass.
Who's playing
Bro,
Riddler? Paul Dano is playing the Riddler in this guy.
I've never seen him in anything, so I wouldn't know. But
I don't think there's any pictures of him out. Aye, it's just that's all we're getting.
wow,
But yeah, there's rumours that Joaquin Phoenix, like maybe even in like a post-credit scene, will pop up in the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
aye.
Which I think if they were going to do it, would
But
be the best
he
way
has
to
to
do
be
it.
older though, right?
Oh yeah, they have to age him.
Because like Bruce Wayne's parents get shot in that
Bruce
riot.
Wayne's a kid, and
Aye, so like
but
he
then
has to.
could
He's
you
like
argue that Robert
late
Pattinson's
20s in that, isn't he?
couldn't you argue that Robert Pattinson's Batman will be younger?
Ah, yes, I
Because
see it.
maybe like late teens, early 20s. Because that's only like 10 year on.
Is there any overlap in regards to the production teams?
Should we have a look?
Because that's how you would tell, surely.
Well, not necessarily, because
I feel like
MCU doesn't have always the same production teams.
aye, but surely there's got to be somebody that's
Right, who wrote it? We'll start with that.
deciding where the
That
story's
means Peter
going. Do you know what I
Craig.
mean?
Right, no similar writers. Produced by no similar. Fucking Bradley Cooper produced Joker. uh, nah, it doesn't look like it. Just the fact that it's Warner Brothers and DC. Both did Joker and both did. But I think they did
Well, that
DCEU
leads me
as
to
well.
believe that if they do make it the same universe, it might not go so well.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if they don't have any, they must have a close relationship with the writer of Joker. Do you know what I mean? Even if he's uncredited, like you can't take that character and like. I suppose you could, but it's a risky game to play.
I think that would be the best way to do it if they were going to introduce that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker into DC films. I don't think they should. I also don't think they should do a Joker 2, which is the rumours of being.
That film is really...
It's so standalone, it's unreal.
Aye, I know, eh?
But there are rumours that there's going to be a Joker 2. There was like talks of Todd Phillips. It's so weird thinking that the guy who did Joker did the Hangover movies. Todd Phillips, Joker 2. Pretty sure he was speaking about it. Aye.
Like...
Apparently, like, Joaquin Phoenix was up for it and stuff, so...
It could only just be a Batman movie, do you know what I mean? Like...
Anyway, we'll see what comes of it. Anyway, there's our Joker list.
What character arc is left for him?
Yeah, that makes sense. But they could do a whole... They could just make him the pure villain now, like, with no kind of more character development.
Saying, like...
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, how could it not just be a Batman movie?
Yeah. Right, okay, I think I'm going to end the stream there, because we've been going for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Hoofed.
Pretty hefty stream. Thank you for joining me, Walter.
No bother.
And thanks
for having me.
The two folk that stayed throughout the full thing.
I think that's us, or maybe Luke.
One will probably be you. I'm not watching it, so.
All right, so Luke's here.
Null TV just put up recently. Says that Luke?
Oh, Gotham Riddler is 10 out of 10. Agree. No, Null TV's Reese. Right.
Is that Reese? There you go.
Aye.
That was just recent that put up. So.
Luke.
Right. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching, and I shall see you later. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Don't know what the fucking stampy long head. Bye bye.